we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast. With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Hi, I'm Andy Meadows, Chief Editor of Radio Update. What is Radio Update, you ask? It's an online publication specific to radio that shares innovative ideas about how to move our industry forward. Check us out if you're in radio or interested in getting into an industry that's over 100 years old and stronger than ever. Broadcast radio is now the largest mass medium in the United States. If you're like me and you have a passion for radio, or you want to put the power of radio to work for your brand, log on to radioupdate.com.
UFC 304 with 2 titles on the line. Jump in on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. New customers bet just $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The code is HERD, H-E-R-D. New customers get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. See terms, eligibility, and responsible gaming resources at dkng.co/MMA.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ News, and WT538 Indianapolis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome in. The week has rolled right by quickly, I believe. A little depressing when it's rained just about every day, including this morning, but it is what it is. I guess we needed the rain here in the Memphis area. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you on this Friday, July 26th, 2024. Broadcasting live from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. They're located at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. If you're looking for a discount on a swimming pool, on a spa, patio furniture, all kinds of things for your summer, but really just to go in there and look around and see what they have to offer. Just some real neat stuff at Family Leisure. Check them out this weekend, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. And the first hour of the program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Well, currently 72 degrees, light thunderstorms and rain, humidity at 96%, and an excessive heat warning is in effect for later today. Temperature will only get up to 81 degrees, but again, with that high humidity, it's going to feel a lot warmer. And again, rain in the forecast, but it will diminish as the afternoon rolls along. Then tonight, 72 for an evening low, cloudy skies with periods of light rain late for your Saturday to start off your weekend. 83 for a high on Saturday with rain once again in the forecast. And then we may see Mr. Sun for a bit on Sunday, 86 for a high. But a little bit of rain also in the forecast for Sunday. Hopefully that's overnight, Saturday and the Sunday, and we'll get a nice day on Sunday and salvage one of the 2 days. But again, forecasts change like the drop of a hat. Coming up on the program today, John Varlas joins us in studio as he does every Friday at 7:25. John from the Daily Memphian. At 8:25, we'll head to Nashville. We'll check in with Nick Suss, the Titans beat writer for the Tennessean. Titans camp got underway a couple of days ago. We'll get the latest from Nick. And then we are scheduled to be joined by Memphis Tigers defensive stalwart Chandler Martin, who had that breakthrough year last year and now one of the top linebackers in the entire country. He will join us at 9:05. We'll play 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation, at approximately 9:25 or 9:30. Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines are open to you. You can text in during open segments. You can call in 901-360-8255. The Olympics opening ceremony will be, I guess, broadcast tonight on NBC. We had a no-no yesterday in Major League Baseball. John Morant in the news, and it's good news. We'll talk about that. And a late trade in Major League Baseball sends a former Memphis Redbird out west. That and all kinds of NFL news and big news from the University of Memphis in their sports administration. That is all coming up on the program today. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's happening?
Man, I just feel good today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's Friday.
Yeah, that might be it. I don't know. Just feel good. Just feel good to be alive.
When do you start to... And Zach, I'll ask you this question too. Look, it's tough to get up early. Let's be honest. You have to go to bed. Try to go to bed a little bit earlier. I know your sleeping habits are weird. They're strange. You can survive with a couple hours of sleep. I can't. Zach, probably you can't either. But like, when during the week do you go, all right, we're past the tough part. Now it's easy peasy. Is it hump day? Is it Wednesday after the show done Wednesday? Is it after the show Tuesday? Is it not until after the show on Thursday? When do you feel like, all right, I've got another week in the books. I'm ready for the weekend?
I don't know that I really have that mentality.
So your Monday,
days all, every day feels the same.
So your Monday feels the same as your Friday?
Just depending.
Really? Zach, what about you?
Oh, it's Thursday.
So once you hit Thursday, you go, all right, I'm cool. Weekend is here. We got another work day on Friday, and that's it.
Yeah, because I know at least, I don't have to get up as early over on the weekends. Even though I still have, church responsibilities.
Sure, things to do, but it's a little bit different. So,
yeah.
See, I think mine is Wednesday. Once I get through Wednesday's show, hump day, more than halfway through the week, as far as our show is concerned, will be 60% of our show's done. Then I start to go, all right, I'm good. I can make it on limited sleep for Thursday morning and for Friday morning. But I'm telling you, I still have that same feeling in my body, in my soul, on Sunday night as I did as a kid. 60 minutes would pop on. Tick, 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 tick. I'm like, crap. School tomorrow. Got to get up early. Go to bed as early as I can. Now, I don't live by that rule anymore, going to bed as early as I can. I try to because my body just conks out. But Sunday night and Monday, it's like, oh, man. Still get that little feeling, that little, not fear, but just that little feeling of like, oh, here we go. But Wednesday after that show, then I'm feeling ready to rock and roll. And in this day and age with social media, you can't blink. You're going to miss a story. And I went to bed last night, and then all of a sudden there's the news this morning about the big trade with Tampa and Seattle involving a former Redbird, which we'll talk about in a few moments. Talk about last night's no-hitter, Dylan Cease of the San Diego Padres. We just brought him up yesterday when we had Kerry Miller on about Cease. He throws a no-no for the Padres, their second in their history. But we open up with the news about Jeff Crane and the University of Memphis, who was on our show just this past Tuesday. And I said why I didn't ask him point blank on the show about his future, because I knew that according to people supposedly in the know, told me that he would meet with Dr. Ed Scott, the new athletics director, as soon as Ed returned. And I think he starts Monday, this upcoming Monday. Well, other than maybe the possibility of a meeting on the phone, they talked on the phone, a Zoom meeting. I don't know if they've met face-to-face. Jeff Crane is headed back to South Carolina. He'll leave his role as deputy AD. He was the interim for a while there. And I think this is a big loss. We love Jeff because of the fact that he's been very gracious to us, tries to answer every question we ask him on a weekly basis. Hopefully we'll continue that with Ed Scott, and I think we will. But I was hoping to have that 1-2 punch where Ed can ease into the job with Jeff's knowledge. And Jeff's been running the show for the renovations that are going on at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium and everything else. Now Ed kind of walks into this blindly because not only did Jeff leave or decide not to come back, a number of other administrators have left. Some that followed Laird to Missouri, and others have gone their separate ways. So it's not going to be an easy transition for Ed, moving in from Virginia to Memphis, walking right into renovations, ownership of Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. I mean, the university doesn't want to take a bath on this now that they've become the owners of that stadium. You want to be able to profit from it down the road. So this is not good. I'm not saying it's the end of the world, but it's not good when you really have high hopes that Jeff and Ed were going to be able to work together.
Yeah, certainly. I think it would have been nice for Dr. Scott to have a guy like Jeff Crane, again, who has been so instrumental in the renovations that are going on. I mean, it is as far as timing goes, this is a tough time to walk into the AD job at the University of Memphis just because of the things that are going on with the stadium alone. Mm-hmm. When you're talking about renovations of that caliber and the fact that you are taking over the stadium and running it for the first time. And so it's a whole new world for everybody, even guys people who were here. It's a whole new world for them and running the stadium, everything else, and the renovations. And to lose the guy who was a big part of all the planning and everything else, certainly that is that's a big blow. But this is to be expected. A new AD comes in. People are, one AD leaves. He's going to take people with him from his current job, just like when a coach leaves and he's going to take assistant coaches with him to his new job. There's going to be others that, with the unknown of a new AD or new head coach, whatever, coming in, they're going to look to go elsewhere because they don't know. There's word this morning, Brad Luce also leaving. He's going to Missouri. So another one out of the athletic department. But this is going to happen, and I'm sure that Ed Scott has a list of people. As a matter of fact, as I said, he's got plenty of people that he will call, and they will come in. It's hard because they're coming into a completely new situation with so many things going on that they've got to try and get caught up on and figure out as far as just the stadium alone goes.
Right, and you beat me to the punch as far as Ed having his own list. Certainly he's compiled his own list, knowing that could very well have been the case with the departure of Jeff Crane. Brad, I had heard that was going to happen. I didn't know that it had come to fruition this morning, so that's news. But you have other administrators that have left as well. So Ed's got to walk right in here. No, not walk right in here. He's got to run right into this job and quickly fill some holes, some very pertinent holes. He has to fill that staff up, have the right people in there that he will work with closely, and then jump right into the fire with football right around the corner. I know he has to hire a softball coach and some other things that he has to do, plus the whole overseeing of the renovations of Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. And he is going to be running the show. Make no bones about this. This is not the same as when Dr. Rudd was the president of the University of Memphis. Dr. Rudd was very much hands-on with the athletic department. Not the case now. This is going to be Ed's show, and pretty much Ed's show alone, because he will not, unless something really happens to rock the boat, the president is not going to get involved with the athletic department. This is going to be on Ed and then his staff that he brings in. So it's almost like a clean slate. And again, we talked about Ed when he was hired, that he has all the credentials. And I know there's a lot of excitement. But again, I was hoping, I don't know. I had heard that Ed was very high on Jeff, that he was hoping to keep him. So I don't know if there was an offer, wasn't an offer, if they're wasn't an increase in pay, and maybe that's what Jeff was looking for, or maybe this was just an offer he couldn't refuse to go back to South Carolina in a similar role, is what I've read, a similar role. But, Jeff, in case you're listening, want to tell you we really enjoyed having you here, having you on the show on a weekly basis. Want to wish you and your family the best of luck as you go back to South Carolina.
Yeah, again, I mean, he's going to a Power 4 school. I mean, it's I certainly don't know what the money situation is, but when you're talking about an SEC school, good chance it's more money than you're getting at the University of Memphis.
True, but make no bones about it, he wanted this job. And a lot of times, it's very hard for somebody to swallow their pride and work under the person that beat you out for the job. It's extremely hard in any profession to do that. It takes a special person. I don't think I could. I think I'd be out of Dodge right away. But certainly you have to see what your opportunities are. You shouldn't just leave cold and not have anything to fall back on. So it just so happened that South Carolina had something that he liked. I don't know if they, again, negotiated here at Memphis. But from everything I had heard, that Ed was very much interested in keeping Jeff. And why wouldn't you? Jeff kind of has the keys to the door. And now Ed's he's not figuring it out on his own, but a lot of the people that he was going to lean on have moved on. So there'll be a lot of quick decisions made by Ed, I'm sure, over the course of the next several weeks to fill that administration as we get ready for the start of the college football season. And what a very important season it is, not only with Memphis football, but with Memphis basketball, both men and women, and all the sports, to be honest with you, going into the 24-25 campaign. There's renovations that are going on at the Grizzlies' home, which, of course, is where Memphis plays their basketball. So that's certainly important. And more important, Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, where you now own and run that venue. So this is not an easy job. Plus, you're trying to continue to help put Memphis in the best light, in the best position. And I know this is redundant and it drives people crazy. Get into the best position for the next time realignment happens. Well, hopefully it does, and hopefully Memphis is included, but who knows? You can't guarantee anything, but you do have to put yourself in the best position. They have continued to do that the last few years, and now you would hope that the renovations to the football stadium is maybe the cherry on the top. That's what you had to have happen, but there's no guarantees. But anyway, yeah, I was disappointed in hearing that news. I was hoping that Jeff would be able to stay, work with Ed, great 1-2 punch, and now we'll see who Ed brings in.
Yeah, again, I certainly wish Jeff the best. Enjoyed having him on the show, enjoyed talking to him outside of the show, everything else, and did a fantastic job. And I'm sure he'll do a fantastic job back in South Carolina. And again, I'm sure that Ed Scott has plenty of people from his time that he's been in, that he has put together, has his list of people that, I mean, when he got the job, I'm sure he kind of wanted some people to leave because there's people I'm sure that he really wants here.
Oh, I'm sure.
And wanted positions for. So I'm sure it won't take him long to fill the positions with people that he trusts and wants to have working for him.
So the former Memphis Redbird, Randy Arozarena, was turned into a very good player, although struggling at the plate this season. The Rays outfielder dealt late last night to Seattle in exchange for minor league pitcher Brody Hopkins, outfielder, again a minor leaguer, Aiden Smith, and a player to be named later. Arozarena, 2020, was named the American League Championship Series Most Valuable Player. He was called up later in the season and came through big time for the Rays. Did not have enough at-bats to become, he was not in position to be the Rookie of the Year. So the next year, he was and won the Rookie of the Year award in 2021 in the American League. So Randy Arozarena from the Redbirds to new heights with the Tampa Bay Rays, and now trying to resurrect his career after, again, a struggle so far this year. He goes to Seattle.
Yeah, he's been talked about for a few was talked about for a few different places, including even the Dodgers possibly, but Seattle not wasting any time as they have seen their lead vanish in the American League West, but not going to go quietly. So they strike first here with the trade deadline still a few days away and go get a move. They need offense. Their offense has struggled. And so they go get, even though he has struggled this year, they go get one of the best offensive players that's probably going to be available here at the deadline to try and help that offense and see if they can overtake Houston, who has taken that one-game lead in the American League West.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Seattle 53-51. Houston is 53-49. So still about roughly 60 games to go, plenty of time. Seattle game out. Texas, the defending World Series champions, they are just 2.5 behind Houston, so it looks like a three-dog race in the AL West. Also yesterday, Padres pitcher Dylan Cease, the former White Sox, throws a 114-pitch no-hitter. It was the second no-hitter thrown this year in Major League Baseball. He does it versus the Nationals. It was not a perfect game. He had 3 walks, but he was just about perfect. He had 100 miles per hour on his 110th pitch. So he was still dealing late in that game. He nearly had a no-hitter back in 2022. 2 outs in the 9th inning, it was broken up. But he gets his no-no yesterday against the Nats.
Yeah, he was one of the big deals of the offseason. The Padres were able to get him. He's been terrific, leading the majors in strikeouts. Gets the no-hitter. Had the one play that to keep it alive, and with the 5th inning with the catch off of the second baseman to the center fielder on the pop-up. You don't think much about that when that play happens in the 5th inning, and then
the old 4-8 put out.
Lo and behold, it ends up being the key to a no-hitter. He's one of the guys that makes me mad that the Cubs gave up way back when, but nonetheless, that's what the Cubs like to do. So it is what it is. But he is really, really good.
John Morant in Murray, Kentucky yesterday, or he's been for a couple days now. He's hosting a camp ahead of his induction into the Racers Hall of Fame. He was asked a number of questions yesterday. One about his health. He said, I'd say I'm about 75% right now. He says it's about endurance. I will get there. But he said at about 75%, I'm paraphrasing now. I think it would still be trouble for guys in front of me to try to keep me in front of them, even at 75%. So Ja looked like he was in a very festive mood. Obviously, it's a great honor for him and well-deserved, as he will be a Hall of Famer at Murray State. But Ja getting closer and closer to being exactly where he wants to be physically, mentally, and ready for the 24-25 season. So that's good news.
It'll be very nice to have Ja back on the court, hopefully for many games.
Yeah, I was going to say at least 70 games, I think. That's the number I'm looking at. All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, one of our great sponsors. They have hundreds of new and pre-owned Silverados. Some mark 12% off invoice. You add up the All-Star special discounts, you're going to save a lot of money. They also have Costco member deals. So pull out the old Costco card and save some money. It's one sweet buyer's market right now, financing as low as 1.9%, no payments for 90 days on a bunch of the new All-Star Chevys, including the new Tahoes. You get an extra $500 bonus if you're in healthcare, an educator, a college grad, military, or first responder. No matter what pre-owned you're looking for, they have them there at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. The Jeeps, 4Runners, Expeditions, Navigators, all the trucks. You can test drive them all. Bring any vehicle you want to sell. Get a big check today. Don't miss out on All-Star Chevy's special summer sale. It's going on right now in Olive Branch. You can also check out all these great vehicles and more about the All-Star Chevrolet people at allstarautogroup.com. Do that today. When we come back, John Varlas in studio from the Daily Memphian. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Cork and Barrel in Hernando, Mississippi, a Southern gem for over 15 years. Check out their bigger, better, bolder new location, 2595 McInvale Road, Hernando. Huge selection, incredible pricing. Choose from hundreds of bourbons, tequilas, rum, scotch, and vodka. Over 1,000 wines from fine and very simple picnic wines. At Cork and Barrel, it's all about serving you. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 10, where the fun begins and the liquor and wine never end. Cork and Barrel, 2595 McInvale Road, I-55, Hernando, exit 280.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos. And enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
All 650 acquisition fee, $20,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE 794-066, MSRP 21,820, Telluride RG 543,666, MSRP 39,835, EV9 R602, 29,603, MSRP 61,035. Includes all rebates and incentives and PF 695. Includes tax, title, license, registration, and fees. Must finance through Hyundai with approved credit valid through 7/31/24. Dealer stock only.
I got Jeff Allen on the line, Gossett Kia, South Mount Moriah. Hey, dude, you ready to rock our world?
You better believe it, Randy. How about 41 MPG Highway in a 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $37.99 due at signing. 2024 Kia Telluride S, $379 per month, $39.99 due at signing. And 304 EPA estimated range for $389 a month in a 2024 Kia EV9 Lite. Or get 0% for 48 months, $49.99 due at signing, all 24-month leases.
Plus, every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
Or online, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Sports 56 traffic. Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 7:26 is the time. Little rain here this Friday morning, but things will clear up as the day progresses. Again, excessive heat warning in effect with the high humidity. It is Friday. You know what that means? Yeah, the weekend is about upon us. No, it also means it's time for John Varlas.
It's time for Greg and Eli's weekly visit with John Varlas on the Daily Memphian. Check out John's prep sports coverage and much more at dailymemphian.com. John is brought to you by Shoot 360 Memphis, where the pros and preps go to get their shot on. Shoot 360 Memphis. Now here's John Varlas with Greg and Eli.
He is the award-winning prep reporter, but so much more from the Daily Memphian, the one and only John Varlas. He joins us each and every Friday. You can follow him on Twitter at John Varlas, and he is sponsored by Shoot 360 Memphis. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Greg. Good morning, Eli and Zach, and good morning to the listening audience. Yeah, if you've got a young basketball player in your family, boy or girl, regardless of age, all the way up to high school and even beyond, and you're wanting to, give a gift or point them in the way to where they can improve their shooting skills, there's no better place I know than Shoot 360 Memphis. They've got 2 locations, the original on 85 Market Street in Collierville, and a brand new, nice, spanking new facility out there in Cordova in the Dirty Dova. So you can take your pick. You can do Collierville, you can do Cordova. They've got a variety of different membership options now, monthly membership options. Of course, you can go longer than you want, and regardless of your membership option, you will have access to the same high-tech technology, the same science behind, perfecting your shot, the same analytics, the same data. It's used by professional players like Steph Curry. It was developed by some really smart people, and they will get you right at Shoot 360 Memphis. Give them a call, 901-316-5500, and it's not just shooting either. It's passing drills, ball handling drills, conventional weight training, like I was talking with Tony Atlas Gaston in here before we came on the air. They'll get you bulky too. So yeah, give them a call, 901-316-5500, Shoot 360 Memphis.
All right, a lot of things I want to get to, including your thoughts on the Olympic Games, on the changes at the University of Memphis. But it's Friday. With you, we always need a bone to pick, and I know you always come in prepared.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, I'm not picking on you because I know you're just reading the copy that's in front of you, but you're talking about these heat warnings for today, and I'm freezing in here. I'm freezing outside. I'm freezing here in the studio.
Are you getting sick?
No, it's just a little chilly.
It is 71 degrees.
Yeah, it's a little bit chilly. I think so. I am, and it's a little cold.
Really?
It's a little cold and wet and kind of miserable outside. And you're talking about these heat warnings, and I'm like,
well, it's for later today.
I
yes.
know. I'm just not seeing the heat right now.
You can feel the humidity, though. I'll tell you.
No, I know. And
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I know you're just reading your copy, but I know. I don't see how it's going to be a heat warning, and I guess that leads to my larger bone is the way they're doing the weather now. Everything is just so excessive, and we have new names for everything.
Oh, sure.
Heat domes and polar vortices and great
vortex and all that stuff.
And you see these maps, Greg. They're frightening colors. They're purple and black and it's
why is purple a frightening color?
Well, look at the map. Just look at it. It's designed to scare. When they do these heat maps, the colors now are designed to scare. So that kind of bugs me. I think there's a bit of manipulation going on, and the weather people want their love and attention, I guess, just like everybody else does. But sometimes I think
weather sells in local news.
Weather does sell, and I think sometimes they go overboard with it, honestly. And to be talking about heat warnings here when it's 70 degrees and I don't know. Personally, I'm cold. Maybe it's just me, but I mean, I'm a little nippy in here.
You think they're trying to scare on purpose? They're not just trying to warn people. They're trying to scare people.
I do think they're trying to manipulate and manipulate emotions and manipulate the way people think. Yes, I do sincerely believe that.
What do they get out of it, though? I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Ratings, and therefore more money.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing.
What do you think, Greg?
No, I think
you know how the business works.
I know. No, they overdo it. There's no question they overdo it. And yes, if you have the biggest super duper duper Doppler, maybe you'll get more viewers. You get more viewers. You get higher ratings. You can charge more for commercials and things of that nature. I'll tell you,
size matters when it comes to Dopplers.
Size matters. Now, I was in Vegas, and it was 110 degrees. And I'm not saying it was cold like you're saying today, but it was a whole day. If you've never been out in the desert, folks, there is a big difference. And all you need to do is hydrate. You're not sweating out there. You're hydrating by drinking a lot of water. And I come back to Memphis, and I feel that humidity. It's 96% humidity today. And it'll be worse later today. I mean, it's 7:30 in the morning right now.
Well, it's 96%. I don't mean to interrupt. It's 96% humidity because it's raining.
It's 100%.
Right? I mean,
it's 100%.
Yeah, but we have high humidity when it doesn't rain, don't we?
Right,
yeah.
But I'm saying right now it's
I'm just talking about in general in Memphis.
Yeah.
I will put that heat when it's 90-something degrees and the high humidity and you can't breathe. I will put that over what I experienced in Vegas, and they were going through what they called a bad stretch of 110 to 120 degrees.
Well, and there that
sounds nuts.
And there that's to my point, Greg. You were out there and it was 110 degrees, but again, it's a desert. It's Las Vegas. I mean, was it really a bad stretch?
No, they said it because they did. Some of the greens got burned up on golf courses. They told the natives out there told me that it was a bad stretch of weather. That it was they don't even get this kind of weather normally. And it was 110 to 120 for about a week.
Okay.
Week to 10 days.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I'm still skeptical. I'm not denying what the natives told you, and obviously I wasn't there, but I'm skeptical. I do think some of this weather forecasting and some of this terminology that we're using now is designed to provoke specific reactions in people. I'm
not saying you're wrong with that.
Yeah.
My point is just Memphis is hell weather-wise. It's worse than Vegas. That's all I'll say. All right, so Memphis lost, and I don't know how much you knew Jeff Crane, but Jeff Crane gone. News came down yesterday. Brad Luce this morning gone. Laird Beach gone. Other administrators gone. Ed Scott walks into this job on Monday with a lot of holes to fill.
No, he does. And I heard what you guys were saying earlier. I don't know Jeff Crane or Brad Luce or Laird Veach for that matter, but and from Jeff Crane's perspective and just kind of looking at it as an outsider and maybe even projecting a little bit of my own experiences into it, when you're there at the job and and you're kind of already doing the job and the folks making the decision making people there, they see you and they've got you right there. You're right there under their nose, and they can see what you're doing. They can see your capabilities and they can see your ability, and then they still opt to go elsewhere, which obviously is their choice. They're certainly free to do that if they felt like Ed Scott was the best man for the job, and obviously did. But if you're Jeff Crane and you're there doing the job and you're eminently qualified and you've already got the familiarity of the job and the market and the university and the community, and then you kind of get passed over. Well, yeah, I mean, I could certainly see why he might, again, I'm probably projecting here a little bit, but I can see where he probably felt some kind of way and said, well, maybe it's just not going to happen here at Memphis for me, so I will look elsewhere and take my family elsewhere, and we'll try to get this thing done elsewhere. So I hate to see him go, Greg, because like you were saying, it would probably have been good just from a transitional standpoint to have somebody on staff, and again, like you were saying, a lot of the people further down the ladder have left too within the department, so it's going to be tough. Ed Scott's going to have a lot of jobs to fill, a lot of hirings to make and a lot of people to get, on his team in addition to all the other stuff he's walking into. So, it's going to be tough to get started, but he seems like an extremely capable man, and I know he can do it. But yeah, he's got some work to do right now for sure.
There's a lot of catching up to do for everybody, whoever he brings in. I mean, again, you're talking football season is just around the corner. You've got a stadium to run. You've got a stadium that you're renovating. Like it is just a lot of catching up that's got to be done in a short period of time.
I hope he got a lot of R&R the last couple of weeks in making the transition from Virginia to Memphis, because he's going to walk into a job with a lot of things to do, as we've been talking about. Yes, football camp actually opens up, I think, next week. So it is right here. We're on the precipice of the college football season. A very important college football season for Memphis, to say the least. But we're also on the precipice of the start of high school football camps and things of that nature. John, where are we at?
How about that? Well, we're on the precipice of the start.
Well, I actually drove by East High School and I saw East guys out there.
Well, I drive by.
Could have done that a month ago.
Yeah, I mean,
as long as it wasn't the dead period.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, the full pad practice will, and I apologize for not knowing the exact date, but the first Friday of games is going to be August 23rd. So basically 1 month for today. So I would assume that full pad practice is going to be starting here pretty soon. But yeah, the teams have been out there working. We've been out there, and I say we by me. I've been out there already starting to talk to a lot of folks, and stories are trickling out. So we're going to have the very, very best high school football preview coverage anywhere in the Daily Memphian. As we work towards August 23rd, we're going to have our annual, much anticipated and much scrutinized and much loved Dandy Dozen coming out. See who's going to be number one this year. I already know who's going to be number one, but I'm not going to reveal it just yet. But
not to spoil that, but Who are, based on returning guys, who are going to be the top teams in the area this year?
Well, I mean, really, Eli, the usual suspects. I mean, it looks like Houston, the defending state champions in 6A, is going to be really, really good. I mean, they're bringing back some dudes. I mean, they might well have the best secondary in the entire state with Andre Allen and LaDedrick James and a young man that they had. And I'm blanking on his name right now, but he was injured last year, but he's back. So they have an incredible secondary. Quarterbacks coming back, Chandler Day. They lost their running back, Damon Sissa, graduated, but Selly Davis, who transferred from Lausanne prior to last season, is going to step right in and fill that role. He's a talented player. He's already gotten some D1 looks and some offers. So Houston's going to be really good. I think Bartlett has a chance to be really good. They're bringing 7 starters back on each side of the ball. They've got a Mississippi State commit at running back, Jaron Johnson, who I think is going to challenge for Mr. Football honors. They've got another Mississippi State commit at linebacker, Austin Howard. So they've got 2 SEC commits. They've got Chase Sutton in the secondary, who's committed to UNLV, and Barry Odom. So they've got some dudes over there at Bartlett. I mean, I'm excited to see what Southwind is going to do with another year of Kelvin Perkins, the Mr. Football winner in 5A after making a run to the semifinals last year. And Greg, and we talk about this before, when you came to the market, how big Melrose was. And it's interesting too. I went out and talked to those guys. Posted a story earlier this week. Their optimism is so high over there with the twins, Jarrett Morrow and Gerald Morrow. They used to play at Melrose. They're back at their alma mater.
So cool, isn't that story?
Yeah, it's a cool story. Yeah. I mean, and for the folks that didn't read it, just to give a synopsis, they, and not even just football, those guys are so embedded in the Melrose community. They graduated from there. Their mom graduated from there. Their dad, their wives, everybody graduated. They're just Melrose and Orange Mound through and through. And they were kind of seeing what was going on in the community there with some of the tragic incidents, some of the murders and things like that in the recent months that have happened, really within, right on the doorstep of the campus. And they saw that. They were concerned about it. So they kind of got their heads together and said, how can we, what can we do to kind of unite this community and heal this community? And they feel like the best way to do that is to bring a gold ball back to Orange Mountain. They think they can do that. Obviously, with the Morrows coming over there, Jarrett Morrow brought his son, Jamarian Morrow, transfer from Germantown, who's committed to Missouri, really, really talented, kind of an athlete, type player. You put him at receiver, you put him at running back, he can really, play anywhere on the offense. So Jamarian Morrow's over there, and Ryan Brown, who's already a 2-time All-State running back, he's over there too. Some other really good dudes. So it's going to be really interesting over at Melrose too. So I'm excited. I think Eli, I think there's a legitimate chance in all 6 of the public school classifications for a Shelby County team to have a serious run. I mean, I think, in Bartlett, I mean, in 6A, you got Houston and Bartlett, perhaps even Collierville and Germantown will be in the mix. 5A Southwind, 4A, I think Melrose has a chance to challenge. Covington's always going to be a threat in 3A. In 2A, Fairleigh is coming off a trip to the semifinals. And in 1A, Mace is going to be really, really strong. Coach Miller's team, I mean, he's got some dudes over there as he always does. So I think it's got a potential to be a really, really exciting high school football season here locally. And I mean, to emphasize, not saying all these teams are going to make it to the Blue Cross Bowl, because I don't think they all will. But in all 6 classifications, I really, really think we've got a chance to, at least compete for a spot.
And shout out to all the coaches, all the assistants, all the volunteers, all the parents, everybody that get involved with football, and of course those young men playing the game of football. It is not easy to go out there this time of the year when it's really, really hot, and we know the dog days still to come in August, and get out there and play football. But good for them. Good luck to everybody, and can't wait each and every Friday, obviously, to talk to this man, John Varlas, about that.
This hour of our show is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Go to biggreenegg.com or go to Ace Hardware stores around town or Hamilton Fireplace, and you can see the egg in person, and they can certainly answer questions you might have. You'll see all the different sizes, 7 different sizes of the Big Green Egg that's available, all the egg accessories that they have as well. Whatever it is you're looking to do, whether you're smoking, whether you're searing, whether you're baking, whatever it is you need to do on the Big Green Egg, it makes it very easy to do so. So check it out at those stores around town, or just go to biggreenegg.com for all the details about the best grill there is, the Big Green Egg.
More with JV when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip is easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does your favorite mixers. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent out to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff, just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, mainly 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on a shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding and belts slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call CraigGranger.com or just stop by. Granger, you get it done.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:45 is the time. We'll talk Titans with Nick Suss, Titans beat writer for the Tennessee, and that'll be coming up at 8:25. We'll be joined by Memphis Tigers star linebacker Chandler Martin at 9:05. But right now, talking with the Daily Memphian prep reporter, award winner John Varlas. You can follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. So the Summer Olympic Games are underway. The opening ceremonies tonight from Paris, which, again, a 7-hour difference, so it'll be taped and delayed, but we'll see it tonight, I think, on NBC. Summer games, what sports excite you, if anything?
Well, I like the track. I'm really going to be into that. Not so much the swimming, not so much anything else, honestly.
Not gymnastics?
Not gymnastics. I mean, I think I'm going to be into the track, though. I really like track, and a high-level track and field competition. I really, really enjoy that. We've already had some Olympic controversy, too, guys. Did you see that?
They're off to a rip-roaring start. It continues every single day.
Yeah. I mean, at first there was a soccer match, and it was between Argentina and somebody. I can't remember. Morocco. And they had like an hour delay to review whether a goal counted or not.
About an hour and a half they
Yeah,
decided
I
it
mean,
didn't count.
that is absolutely preposterous.
And then took it off the board, and
Right.
the Moroccan fans went crazy.
Well, as well they should, right? I mean, and then you bog down the game for an hour to review a call.
Well, no, the Moroccan fans went crazy. The game got delayed because of their throwing the stuff on the field and everything else. Then they later decided the goal wasn't any good. They brought them back, and that's when.
So
they
why did they first go crazy? Was it because they just tied the game, or?
Yeah, I think they thought it was offsides.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Well, okay, so I apologize for that, but in my
But it was still it's still preposterous because they didn't make the announcement about the goal not counting until 90 minutes later.
Well, and in my defense, it doesn't take much for soccer fans to go crazy.
No. They may have just gone crazy because the game was tied. Like they're living on the edge at every moment, looking for the reason why could we start throwing stuff onto the field. There's an opportunity. Let's do it right now.
They clearly are, and this morning I awoke to the news that the coach of the Canadian women's team has been sent home, and for the Canadians, those naughty Canadians
cheaters
are using a drone to spy on their opponents, New Zealand. They're using a drone to spy on the Kiwis and steal their tactics and their formations.
But they found out it goes back. They've been doing this for years.
Yeah,
apparently they won gold in 2021, and the TSN reports that they were doing it then. Their men have been doing it. Well, their women's team, like they're the Canadians.
Strip the mantle,
just
baby.
another reason to hate the Canadians. It's absolutely like they're just big old fat cheaters. They've been doing this for a long time.
Well, and as you know, Eli, we just wrapped up the Copa America, and Canada made it to the semifinals. Their best progress ever, I think, in a major international tournament. So were the men's team doing that in the Copa America as well? Were they flying covert drones over?
They probably were. Like they do it. They apparently just this is their thing. Like they've been doing. There was one. I think it was Panama in some tournament. They were up in Canada, and they were doing a workout up there, and apparently they reported drones overhead, and like the Canadians national team, like their coach's response was, well, I'm sure there's a lot of people up here that flying drones and just with the big event going on want to see things. But it probably was Canada. It was probably actually them doing it and recording stuff. Like it's because when they first caught them doing it with New Zealand, and the police caught the person who was doing it, which was the one, not technically an assistant coach, but then they found text message that the assistant coach knew what was going on. On the footage, they found not just that practice, but another practice of New Zealand's. So they knew they had done it multiple times. And then again, now and at that point, the coach was supposed to just miss yesterday's game. But then they found out that this has been going on for years. Now it's suspended for the entire Olympics while they do a more thorough investigation. But TSN's the one that reported that like their men and women have been doing this for apparently years.
Well, and all I'll say to that is I think the father of the modern Olympics, Baron Pierre de Coubertin, is probably rolling in his grave because this is in blatant violation of the Olympic code of conduct and morals and code of sport. I mean, this is bad stuff, Canada.
And then today with the opening ceremonies, and we got Snoop Dogg running the torch over there, which I think is awesome.
We also got Flavor Flav, part of the water polo team. Like he's like a spokesperson for it.
I think he's like a booster supporter kind of thing.
Yes,
right? A big water polo fan. Yeah,
and they got an eye on.
It's all very weird.
But they like their train system was attacked, so they had arsonists and stuff like that. So they had this big. So like their train system now is like shut down, so people can't get into town necessarily for the opening ceremonies. Like it is.
Militia everywhere.
The
military's everywhere.
Things are not going well right now for the Olympics. They just want to get maybe a few games in without any controversy would be their goal.
And then too, on a more serious note, there's this athlete, and I don't know what sport he competes in, but he's on the Holland team, and apparently he was convicted in his past of a heinous crime on a young girl. But when she was a 12-year-old girl, and he was convicted of a crime against her, a sexual assault, and he's but he's been since allowed to compete on the Olympics team, and there's a huge controversy over that because, the nature of this crime, it's so awful, but yet he's still allowed to compete, and there's, petitions and things like that to remove him from the team, and, should he be allowed to compete and should he not be allowed to compete? I mean, there's that too. This guy,
Netherlands,
This guy actually, Greg, as I understand it, he's like isolated from the Olympic Village, so he's
really,
they're keeping him away by himself. Because of the controversy that there's so many people, and in my opinion, rightly so, that they think he should be in jail. Frankly, he shouldn't be competing in the Olympics. So I mean, there's that too. I mean, it's like Eli said. I mean, we're off to a rip roaring start here with the games of the Olympiad. I mean, it's going to be interesting. But in terms of the competition, I'm really excited to see the track competition between the Jamaicans and our American athletes. I mean, that's always incredible stuff and great theater. I mean, a track meet is just, I mean, it's theater more than anything else. I mean, it's a spectacle. I mean, it's drama. It builds and you get to see the personalities of the runners and the athletes, and the crowd is into it because they know what they're seeing. So I just love a great Olympic track meet, and I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully it'll come off with not as many hitches as it's starting with, but yeah, that's
I like watching greatness, and Michael Phelps isn't competing anymore, but Simone Biles is, and Katie Ledecky is. So, and I still think track and field, swimming, and gymnastics. I don't care. I mean, certainly I'm rooting for the United States in every sport, but I'm not enamored to watch the men play Serbia on Sunday in men's basketball. They should win the gold. If they don't, there's a lot of problems. If the women don't win the gold, there's a lot of problems. So I'm not really enamored with basketball. I watch basketball all the time. I want to see sports that I hardly ever watch, and I only watch during the Olympics.
Well, and speaking of sports you hardly ever watch, let me give a shout out to our two Memphians, our two locals competing in the Olympics. Seth Ryder from Germantown, who's on the triathlon team, and of course my guy, the great Harrison Williams, class of from MUS. I think he was in the class of 2014. He's representing the USA in the decathlon.
So that's great.
Good luck to Seth Ryder and Harrison Williams, and really rooting for those guys in particular to do well.
John, are they the only Olympians from Memphis? But I know we have other area Olympians, like the pole vault guy from Ole Miss.
Right, I'm thinking from Memphis, from
Memphis
Shelby County. Yeah, I know Gabrielle Rose tried out, and she didn't quite make it. We talked about the high school kids a few weeks ago that were competing in the trials. Obviously, they were just there for the experience, basically. But yeah, Harrison made it. Seth Ryder, I mean, he's a pretty dominant figure in the triathlon world. So
that's great.
So yeah, no, it's exciting for them. It's an exciting time, and let me steal one from Brett and Bryant. Greg, if I give you a hard one, would you take USA men's basketball or the field?
USA basketball.
I'd still take USA men's basketball, but they better be on their P's and Q's, or they'll get knocked off.
I think if I was a betting man, I would lean towards taking the field.
Okay.
I don't like.
It's not ludicrous the way they've played so far in the exhibition.
Yeah, I don't like what I've seen so far. I just international ball is just different, and these guys, these other countries, have more experience playing together. They know how to work within their system a little bit better, and I don't know. I still kind of get stuck on the sense that the USA is just kind of rolling the balls out there with an all-star team and not really any sort of defined, strategy or concept or anything like that.
Real quick, I know we're just about out of time. Just throwing it out there.
Also remember those were exhibition games.
Right. No, I'm with Eli. I think the USA wins, and it just strengthens LeBron's legacy. And it's not all on LeBron. He's the old man on the team, but yet he's the one that was performing during these exhibition games. If they don't win the gold, they come up short. Does it hurt his legacy just a little bit? Compared to Michael, when we get into that debate?
It will because everybody's so on edge when it comes to LeBron James. Anyway, I don't know necessarily that gold medals should necessarily add or detract from your legacy. I mean, I don't. Nobody elevates like John Stockton or Karl Malone or Chris Mullin because they have a gold medal. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
So I don't know that you should necessarily detract from a LeBron.
Some will, right?
Yeah, but some will because they always do, and it's it's different. I mean, the game has certainly grown since 1992. Basketball worldwide has gotten better all over. But still USA should win. But I don't know. I think I would take the field if I were a betting man. But as we know, I'm not, and that's a good thing.
John, thank you. We'll talk again next week. John Varlas, brought to you by Shoot 360 Memphis.
Genesis Diamonds, Poplar and Perkins Extended, folks. If you're looking for that special piece of jewelry, go see the folks at Genesis Diamonds. Unbelievable selection of diamonds that you can choose from, whether it be natural diamonds or lab-grown diamonds. And they can take you through the process, tell you exactly what you're looking for, what you should be looking for, and how those diamonds are priced on the world market, and everything you need to know to make you a smarter shopper when it comes to buying diamonds or any kind of jewelry. They got all the top designers when it comes to those engagement rings and wedding bands, all of that. They've got the top designers. Whatever it is that you're looking for, the folks at Genesis Diamonds will take good care of you. Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Hour 2 Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on the way right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place: the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. For nearly 2 decades, we've installed some of the best roof systems across the Mid-South. To the tens of thousands of clients we've served, we are honored. So many of you call our team at Brian Elder Roofing your roofers. Our team is dedicated to serving you and keeping your family safe, dry, and mold-free. The recent hailstorms have caused massive damage, and many of these will go unnoticed for years, even though the golf ball-sized hail we just experienced in the Mid-South compromises even the best-built roof system. Whether we find damage or not, your photos are securely stored for future reference. Call Brian Elder Roofing today for a total evaluation of your entire roof system free. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. Call me at 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303. Or visit us online at brianelderroofing.com.
Listen up, I got Marty McNate on the line at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. Hey McNate, how far back you moving on prices?
Way back, Randy. Doc told me you can take your pick. 2024 Teos SE or 2024 Jetta Sport. Gotta go back in time to the good old days at $275 a month.
Great Scott, McNate. Gossett Volkswagen on Germantown is really moving prices back.
That's right, Randy.
And I hear you got the 2024 Atlas Peak Editions going for $5,000 off MSRP, or you can get 1.9 for 60 months.
That's right, Randy. Your future's whatever you make of it, so let's get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
Ask for Marty to find out how much he can move you back on price. Hey, Marty, hit us with that Gossett Volkswagen locator.
7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Belting. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Some folks are still dodging some pretty good rain showers out here. It just depends on where you are. East of Memphis, I see a lot of rain that could affect your drive down I-40 coming in from Fayette County at times there, headed into Shelby County with some heavy downpours. So be careful. Give yourself extra time out here just to play it safe. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 8:02 the time. Hour number 2 here on Sports 56 mornings. The Friday, July 26th, 2024 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, it's where family and fun come together. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. I'm going to read the forecast like I do every hour, every single day. John's going to argue this, but an excessive heat warning in effect for later today, although only 81 degrees. I mean, I understand his point. It's only 81 degrees. 96% humidity, cloudy with occasional rain showers. We had rain this morning. Rain percentage 80%. 72 degrees tonight. Few showers early, becoming a steady rain overnight. Winds light and variable. Tomorrow, rain in the forecast, about a 75% chance. 83 for a high. Gets a little warmer on Sunday at 86. With rain and sun mixed on a Sunday, 53% chance of rain. And then it looks like next week, the temperatures get into the mid to upper 90s, but it dries out. So there you go. That's the forecast for what it's worth. Hour 2 of the program brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. They are your family's jeweler, located at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. If you get a chance, you're in the market for any type of jewelry, just pop on in. Say hi to James. Tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 mornings. Every Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know? Memphis 901 FC, one of Varlas's beats. They signed midfielder John Beccaro yesterday to a short-term contract. The 27-year-old now reunites with his former Wake Forest teammate, Bruno Lapa. So you got 2 Wake Forest Demon Deacons on the Memphis 901 FC squad as they get back into action tomorrow evening, I should say, at AutoZone Park.
By the way, my weather app says the high as far as the real feel goes today is only 84 degrees.
Yeah,
so I just think you got bad information.
Well, I know. I'm reading it, man. I'm reading it right from the forecast.
I think you need to get a different app. That's what I believe.
Excessive heat, right there. Boom. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the high humidity. Maybe the air quality. I don't know, man. I don't have the super duper 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 Doppler at my house. I just read it, baby. So, Paul Feinbaum, the colorful character from ESPN, Matt Rule in the Big Ten Media Days. It's over now, right? The Big Ten Media Days? They wrapped up?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Yesterday, I think it was the last day.
Yes, yeah, it was Monday through Thursday.
So Matt Rule, who is the coach at Nebraska, Paul Feinbaum told him to stay in your lane. All the quote was from Matt Rule, I think 4 teams from this league should get in every year because this is the best league. This is the NFL of college football in my mind. Feinbaum goes on to say, don't worry about the big boys because you're not one of them. You're talking like you belong at the table with Ohio State and Georgia. You know, Feinbaum, I know a lot of people like him. He's a shill for the SEC. He's not knocking the SEC. He's promoting the Big Ten. He thinks 4 should be in from the Big Ten. Others believe the SEC should get 4 or 5. I think the SEC is better all around top to bottom than the Big Ten, but it's not like it's by leaps and bounds. But Matt Rule isn't saying anything crazy that he thinks 4 teams should get in, and Feinbaum goes off. Stay in your lane. Easy now, big fella. Feinbaum, or rather Rule, has been known to resurrect programs at the college level. Didn't work out in the NFL at Carolina, and often it doesn't for successful college coaches going to the NFL. Few have been able to have success. Pete Carroll obviously comes to mind right away. Jim Harbaugh comes to mind. But as far as what Rule said, is that anything crazy?
No, I think he'll be right most years. I think they will get 4 teams in, just like the SEC will get 4 teams in most years, I believe. I believe the SEC is a better conference.
Yeah.
The Big Ten is.
I do too.
But them and the Big Ten have clearly separated themselves as the 2 best conferences, and we don't know for sure. I mean, they've added obviously some really good football programs. If Oregon maintains its level and if USC gets back to its old levels and you mix them in with Ohio State, and if Michigan can maintain without Jim Harbaugh and Penn State and everything else, I mean, the Big Ten could have an argument to be the best conference with the additions they have made.
Of the new additions around the country, who has the better chance to accomplish this? Texas to win the SEC over Georgia and the rest of the gang, or Oregon to beat out Ohio State and the rest of the gang in the Big Ten? Better chance?
I would say, I think probably Texas. Although, I mean, to win the regular season title, I would say Texas. Winning the championship game could be difficult because if it is Georgia, you got to go down to Atlanta and play them down there. But I would say Texas.
Oregon is really interesting. Phil Knight has come out and said, look, I'm going to give whatever I have to give for this program. And to have a backer like Phil Knight, deep-pocketed Phil Knight, is fantastic for Oregon. They bring in a veteran quarterback. And it's not often you could pluck a quarterback from Oklahoma. Now, I know Lincoln Riley's not there anymore, but they're able to get Dylan Gabriel. And they have done incredibly well in recruiting and in the portal. I always have some feeling that Oregon somewhere is going to screw up. I don't know why I think that every year, but I do. I still think that they're behind Ohio State. Then again, Ohio State, people are giving them the benefit of the doubt. I guess they're owed that to some degree. And this year, maybe Ryan Day finally can beat Michigan. They're a better team than Michigan. But are you enamored with Will Howard?
Not enamored, no. But I mean, they're just loaded with so much talent.
Sure.
Hell, they should go to the Wishbone and just get all of those running backs on the field at the same time. That'd probably be the best approach to do anything. I mean, that is as good.
Bring back the old Wishbone.
But yeah, I think it's interesting to see what, with Chip Kelly coming over there, what does that offense look like?
Mm-hmm.
When you've got unbelievable running backs all over the place, in today's world of throwing the football, what does that look like? How much do they rely on the run? But their defense is absolutely loaded. Ohio State is just, behind Georgia probably only as far as the most pure talent goes anywhere in the country.
By the way, I did finally see the Deshaun Foster presser at Media Days. I had to leave the room. I felt so bad. I walked out. I don't know why that stuff, it's cringeworthy, but I feel sometimes for people when they
that's why I don't like Lee Corso on game day anymore. That stuff just makes me uncomfortable to watch that stuff.
Yeah, but it's
a different situation with him. But he just obviously whatever isn't real comfortable in those situations. Where Corso certainly is a different situation. But when that's happening in front of people like that, I feel for those people, man. It makes me very uncomfortable.
It makes me uncomfortable. But then again, with Herb Street and Corso, you have a Jeff Dunham, Terry Fader type situation there, where Lee can pause and then Kirk Herbstreit can pick it up. He just continued the thought. And often does.
Again, you can think that. I don't want to see a guy be a puppet. I'm not there to look at a puppet.
Well,
it just makes me uncomfortable. They can do whatever they want. He can stay on there, whatever. I have no decision in the matter. It gets worse and worse every year. And last year, I didn't watch the picks a whole lot because I just get uncomfortable watching him.
They are not going to pull this guy. He had a stroke, for goodness sakes, and they kept him up there. There's no way they're pulling that. He's family to them. They are not pulling this guy. He's going to be up there until he croaks. And It's fine by me. I know it's uncomfortable for a lot of people, but it's fine by them. And as long as Kirk and Reese and all those guys are fine with it, and they're going to be fine with it, they're not going to change. That is going to be a part of it. And there's a lot of people that certainly respect and love Lee Corso. I don't think anybody doesn't like Lee Corso. It's just the uncomfortability that we talked about in watching him with the picks. All right, Olympics yesterday. U.S. women's soccer won, beat Zambia 3-0, or is it Zambia? Not real familiar with their women's soccer team, nor their country, to be honest with you, but the United States women get the win. Same score as the United States men losing in their first match with France, 3-0. Of course, these are U23 teams. Now, basketball will heat up.
The women is not.
Oh, the women is not?
Women's regular, I believe.
But why do they have that? Why is that?
Because the women, they make it they don't. Again, the men is because the FIFA doesn't recognize it as a big thing, and these teams aren't allowing guys to go, so they just make it a U23.
But why does
where
the
you can
FIFA
have three
recognize?
older guys?
I just, there's so much red tape and stupid rules. For the women, it's not U23. For the men, it is, because they don't recognize it. It makes no sense to me. Okay, but in any case, the women won. The men, as you know, the other day lost.
And all three goals came from, well, they came from the two players, but the two of the players that have the high-profile
Rodman
relationship. You had Dennis Rodman's daughter get the first goal, and then Mallory Swanson, Dansby Swanson's wife, got the other two goals.
I didn't know that about Dansby Swanson's wife on the Olympic team. I knew about Rodman's daughter. Is Dennis there?
I have no idea. I did not watch any of the game.
I mean, you got Snoop Dogg there. You got Flavor Flav there. I know Dennis is not a rapper. I don't think he is. Maybe he is, but
I would assume
he's a
he's there,
character.
but I have no idea.
Right.
Dansby Swanson can't be there, but I don't know. So Dennis Rodman, I would assume, probably is there to watch his daughter.
So possibly if the United States team is struggling, they could bring Dennis on, kick somebody off the roster, get a few rebounds, help the United States. The men will open up on Sunday versus Serbia. 81 of the 144 players on rosters from any of the countries that are in the Olympics have NBA experience. 81 of the 144 players participating in Olympic basketball, men, have experience. 50 college programs are represented. I think there's only 2 countries that do not have a player that has played or is playing collegiate basketball. College is now different, obviously. They're paying the players, so it's a different ballgame. And I know once they turn to professionals in basketball and in some of the other sports, certainly, it has changed the complexity of the Olympics. What was the best amateur sports, we know back years, decades ago, there was always the argument, well, we're sending over our college players, we're sending over our amateurs, and East Germany is, East Germany, right? Was the communist country? USSR, the communist countries were using their professional athletes. And that was always the controversy. But then they decided, okay, to open up the floodgates for professional athletes. And I don't think we're better for it. I would rather have our best college players play in the Olympic Games, but I want to win as a U.S. citizen. And if we're going to lose out because other countries are playing their pros and we're playing our college players, our amateurs, again, a little different in college now that they're getting paid, but I would not want to see that. But I loved it the way it used to be. Even before the Dream Team, right? The Dream Team was great. It was fun to watch them go in there and obliterate countries by 80. But back in the day when you had your best college players, your best amateurs, the Olympics, it's not amateur sports anymore. Even the gymnasts and the swimmers, they now get paid not only for appearances, and they should, for their name, image, likeness, but they're also making money in different meets around the world. So it's basically the best professional athletes for their respective sports. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Look at golf. Look at tennis. I mean, Nadal and Djokovic are supposedly going to meet coming up in the Olympics in one of the early rounds.
Second round, if they both win the first match.
I mean, again, I'm not watching tennis. I'm not watching, certainly, collegiate players play tennis in the Olympics, but I'm not watching Nadal and Djokovic in the Olympics. I'll watch them in the final of the U.S. Open or French Open. I don't care to see tennis. I don't care to see Scottie Scheffler in golf in the Olympics. Right? Just like I don't really care to see LeBron playing for the U.S. Olympic team. Now, again, I'm rooting for them all. I want the Americans to sweep. I want them to have the most medals. But I am more enamored with, again, gymnastics, swimming, track and field, although those athletes now, for the most part, get paid as well. It's changed. The Olympics and the whole reason why they have the Olympics has changed. It's supposed to be the best amateur athletes from every country.
It doesn't change the reason they have the Olympics. They just realized it was stupid, just like college realized it was stupid, not allow these people to make money. There's a lot of Olympians to start making money because they should be able to. Like it's dumb to say you can't.
Yeah, but that's one thing. But the other thing is, again, to allow your best NBA players, your best golfers, your best tennis players. Who cares? It's like watching the event in Cincinnati for tennis or watching the event at Indian Wells, but you're just watching it in France.
Okay, so
at Roland Garros.
So it's a tennis tournament. So what? It's a golf tournament. So what?
Again, I don't care to see that in the Olympics.
But why shouldn't those people have a chance to go win a gold medal?
Because they're not
and represent their country.
Yeah, but it's that wasn't when the Olympics began. That wasn't the thought was you were going to play. You were going to have your best amateur athletes compete in whatever sports there were. Okay, they had golf, I know in 04 or whatever. That's fine. You want to use those sports, that's fine. But it's gotten away where it's now just your best professional athletes.
Yes.
And so it doesn't do it for me like it used to. Again, swimming, when Katie Ledecky started and she was in her first Olympiad, it's like, who is this? Same thing with Michael Phelps. Nobody knew who the hell they were outside the swimming.
And it would be stupid that
world.
If Katie Ledecky, to still be competing in the Olympics, could not have made any money this entire time.
No. I'm fine with that.
So she's a professional athlete.
I'm fine with it's not just the professional and amateur. It's also which sports are played. Which sports?
But again, why? Who cares? So don't watch them. But why should you limit who can go win gold medals representing their country?
I'm not. It's not my call. I'm just saying my interest personally is sports that I don't normally get to see. I don't normally watch. I mean, every day you can put on and watch baseball,
but
which is not in the Olympics
to have
this
golf
year.
in the Olympics or dumb to have tennis. Let those people go win a gold medal.
Well,
you don't have to watch it, but they shall be able to represent their country and win a gold.
Why isn't it that they have it every Olympiad then? Why do they have, if it's so important, then why don't they have tennis every single time, golf every single time? They don't.
Well, golf is now. Golf is a regular sport.
We'll see. We'll see if they
they
vote it out.
Yeah, sometimes they vote stuff out or whatever. I'm not gonna. It's not dumb to have a sport. If they want to let people win gold medals, I'm all for it.
That's fine. I'm not enamored with. Well, maybe they should have race car driving, and Verstappen and have Larson and have all the best drivers in it. Again, that wasn't the intent with the Olympics at the beginning. It wasn't the intent. It's morphed like everything else is morphed.
Well, yes. We've come a long way in the many Olympiads that we've had.
But I'm not saying that's a positive. In fact, I'm saying it's not a positive. It's not a positive.
Why?
Because it was something special when the Americans sent their amateurs to play. And these dudes were going up against some of those commie countries
in those other sports
and beating them.
We're sending the same people in these other sports are just allowed to make money now. And it would be dumb if Katie Ledecky wasn't allowed to make money to be able to keep competing in the Olympics, or Simone Biles.
Well, again, if your college has changed in the last couple of years. I know it's changed, obviously. But go back 8 years ago, it was different. And if you sent your college guys to go against Jokic in Serbia, the professionals in Spain, I mean, that's cool. I loved that, but I know that they wouldn't win. Right now, we're not even 100% sure that the Americans with LeBron will win. I think they will, but it was a little bit different. I mean, we got screwed over. with the Soviets in 72, was it? When we had Tom McMillan and all those guys. I mean, we were the best of the college ranks. It's different now. I want to win just like everybody else wants to win, but we're winning. We're trying to win by now taking away from the whole concept of what the Olympics were for, why the Olympics came to be. It's a whole different ball game now. It may rub people the wrong way. Maybe it won't. Maybe people are more enhanced to want to watch Scotty Scheffler play Olympic golf. But I can tell you one thing. It's not as important because when we talk about resumes and we talk about a yearly accomplishments for certain golfers and tennis players, we don't look at their Olympic gold or silver. It's kind of something thrown in. Maybe. Sometimes not even talked about at all. So if it's not that important to be talked about, then it's not that important for me to watch these guys play golf or tennis in the Olympics. I'll stick with that. That's my thoughts on that. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. My thoughts are, you got to love barbecue, especially if you live in Memphis. Great places to go and get barbecue. One of them right at the top of the list is Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. They've been cranking out that slow smoke barbecue for 4 decades. They've been catering that entire time. So if you have an event coming up this summer, late this summer, fall, tailgating right around the corner for high school, for college football, whatever the case may be, they'll start you out as low as $8.99 per person as they will cater an event no matter how small, how large. Now, if you head over for lunch or dinner, they have lunch specials every day. Party packs that start at just $7.49. And check this out. You get out a third of a rack of ribs for $7.99 when you purchase an entree. Barbecue sandwich, maybe their award-winning catfish plate, tamales, whatever the case may be. Located at Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. When we come back, we're talking Titans with Nick Suss. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no-obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland Street in Memphis. We're a full-service butcher shop offering a curated selection of quality meats, cheeses, prepared foods, and more. At Buster's, our skilled butchers are also experienced chefs. They'll be delighted to guide you on selecting, preparing, and cooking our fine selection of products. We're like nothing else you can find in Memphis. Learn more at bustersbutcher.com and come see why every cut counts at Buster's Butcher.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Are you ready to ride? Well, we got it covered at Gossett Kia on the bike. Get 41 MPG Highway and 2024 Kia Forte LXS. $199 a month, $37.99 to assign it. 2024 Kia Sportage, $279 a month, $34.99 to assign it. Or how about a 2024 Kia EV9 Lite with 0% APR available for 48 months? Or get 304 EPA estimated range for $389 a month, $49.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. Plus Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
650 acquisition fee, $20,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE 794,066, MSRP 21,820. Sportage R73 161.97, MSRP 28,865. EV9 R60 29,603, MSRP 61,035. Includes all rebates and incentives and PF 695. Includes tax, title, license, registration, and fees. Must finance through Hyundai with approved credit valid through 7/31/24. Dealer stock only.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in town Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. I can still see some weather on the radar here that could affect your drive up and down I-40 in and out of Shelby County there at the Fayette County line. So be careful as you travel in that area. It looks like heavy downpours in certain areas. Traffic starting a little bit busier over here now on 240 up by Walnut Grove. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:28 is the time. Hour 2 here on Sports 56 mornings, getting you set for the sports weekend. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd. Camps, NFL camps open all around the country. That includes about 3 hours from here in Nashville, where the Titans opened up camp earlier this week. We are pleased to be joined by a good friend of the show, Nick Suss. He's the Titans beat writer for the Tennessean. You can follow him on Twitter at Nick Suss. Nick, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, boys?
Doing pretty good. So with camp now open, I guess my question to you is, what questions do you have for the Titans that need to be answered in camp going into the season?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know what they can answer in camp when so many of the questions are going to be about what happens after camp. I want to see these position battles, and nobody wants to turn on their radio this early in the morning and hear about right guard competition or number 2 inside linebacker competition. So I'll spare you the nitty-gritty, but the reality of this Titans team is the roster is better, and there is no disputing that the roster is better. But we still don't know how Will Levis is going to adjust to year 2 in a new scheme. And we still don't know how this coaching staff is going to gel with a first-year head coach, first-time offensive coordinator, first-time defensive coordinator, first-time special teams coordinator. There's a lot of new here. And it's just fundamentally a team that is unproven. So you can look around and think, well, Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins and Tyler Boyd, that's a heck of a top 3 receiving core. And you got Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears in the backfield. That's pretty impressive. And L'Jarius Sneed, Chidobe Awuzie, and Roger McCreary, that's a great cornerback room. You throw in Amani Hooker and Jamal Adams behind them, that's a pretty darn good secondary. And Jeffrey Simmons and Tavondre Sweat together, that sounds like an awesome pairing at defensive tackle. And you look at all this stuff, you're like, yeah, it's a pretty solid NFL roster. I'm not saying they're the 49ers yet, but that's a better roster than they had the last 2 years. But how is it all going to work? We still have to see them put this together.
You talk about the receivers, and it seems like for years and years the Titans have been trying to search for receivers. They had A.J. Brown, of course. They let him leave, but they drafted a bunch of first-round guys through the years. Now that receiving core, I mean, this has to be, just on paper, as good a receiving core as they have had in quite some time.
Yeah, I was talking about this with somebody yesterday. I know a pretty big Buffalo Bills fan, and she is obsessed with kickers because it's the thing the Bills have never figured out. and I feel like that's kind of the Titans fan dynamic with receivers. I'm not underselling the Derek Masons of the world, and certainly A.J. Brown was a great player, and the Titans have had receivers in the past, but by and large, in a 25-year span where NFL receivers have become more and more dominant than ever, the Titans have lagged behind the rest of the league in top-level receiver production. None of this is homegrown, obviously. You go out and you get three receivers who are, I believe, 29, and 32. So there is a little bit of concern about, man, I looked this up over the summer. I think the last time that a team had three receivers all this old produce like 600 yards or more apiece was 1993.
Wow.
It's been a while, but these are three consistent, accountable prospects who all play in ways that serve the others. So I like Ridley's speed. I like Hopkins's ability to force his way open in coverage and to make these incredible catches down the sideline and over the middle of the field and in the red zone. And obviously Tyler Boyd is kind of like the tailor-made number 3 receiver option. He can play in the slot, but he's not that Wes Welker slot type body. He does a lot of different things well and controls his body well. And there's still the wild card that is Treylon Burks that we can talk about as a number 4 option. And if Burks is half the player we thought he was when he was drafted 2 years ago, that's a heck of a top 4. I think that is not just the best top 4 the Titans have ever had, but it could be one of the better top 4s in the NFL, provided the offense works, provided Will Levis is playing at top strength, and provided that everybody stays healthy, which we'll see.
And I was going to ask you about Burks. What does this all mean for Treylon Burks? I mean, is he guaranteed a spot on the roster? Like, what does he have to step up? What does this mean for Burks with the guys they've gone out and gotten?
Oh, I mean, with contract dynamics the way they are, he's not going to get cut. Like, you can't afford to cut a first-round pick this time of year, I'll say that much. But I don't think he would either. I think if you're looking at him as your number 4 or number 5 receiver, that's underwhelming for a player of his stature, but it also frees him up to do some things that he can do. For example, as we get acquainted with the new NFL kickoff return rule, that sounds like a role that is tailor-made for Treylon Burks and his ability to move with the ball in his hand in space. As we watch him play a little bit more on special teams, maybe as a gunner downfield to try and earn his way onto the roster. And then if he's your number 4 receiver, if he plays 12 to 15 snaps a game or whatever that ends up being, he can make a difference. And he's got to earn his way into playing more than some of these guys, because I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's 13 or 14 combined 1,000-yard seasons for the 3 guys ahead of him. That's a lot of NFL experience that he's going to have to overtake.
Nick Suss joining us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. He covers the Titans, I should say, for the Tennessee. And you can follow Nick on Twitter at Nick Suss. Aside from those receivers, you have another guy now in the backfield in Tony Pollard, who catches a lot of passes, did so for Dallas. Big fan of Tony, obviously playing at the University of Memphis and being from where we are. But last year was a little bit of a down year after having the huge year in 2022. The Titans go out and they get Pollard. The Derrick Henry era is over, and people are certainly gonna miss him. But what about Pollard combining with Spears to give that flexibility in the backfield? Guys that can catch the ball and have a lot of speed, especially when they get to the outside edge.
Yeah, I think that a smart way to look at this is to take the classic Moneyball scene approach and talk about recreating Derrick Henry in the aggregate instead of recreating Derrick Henry. So the Tony Pollard problem, 2022 to 2023. 2022, he had this great year, this hyper-productive year, touching the ball 12 to 15 times per game. Last year, he had an underwhelming year, touching the ball 18 to 20 times per game. So the conclusion there is, well, let him touch the ball 12 to 15 times per game, and let Tajay Spears touch the ball 12 to 15 times per game, and see if they can both replicate the fact that when Tony was touching it 12 to 15, I think he was averaging about 5.5 yards per touch, if I'm remembering the numbers right, and Tajay was right around 5 yards per touch last year. And so if the two of them are both touching it 12 times a game, and that's 5 times, let's say 5 yards per touch for the two of them. What's that quick math off the top of my head? 5 times 24. That's 120 yards per game for the two of them. That's roughly what Derrick Henry was averaging these last couple of years. And it's not going to all be rushing yards. It'll be rushing yards and receiving yards. And it'll be a headache for fantasy football managers because you never know which one's going to have the big game. But I do think that if you look at that value that Tony and Tajay being interchangeable can create, the value the Titans create from their running backs could end up being larger than late career Derrick Henry, just on the fact that you're going to have two guys and they're not going to get tired.
Is Brian Callahan going to be calling plays, or is that going to be Nick Holtz? Or Callahan is?
Yes.
So this is his offense that they're going to be running.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously in Cincinnati, they had some pretty good guys. You had a really good quarterback. Will Levis, how does Will Levis fit in that offense?
It's an interesting conversation to have because I don't personally think Brian Callahan is bringing, quote, an offense with him from Cincinnati. I think there are philosophies that are going to carry over, and you can obviously look at that with the moves they made at receiver and the moves they made on the offensive line. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's a blank canvas, but I will say this offense isn't going to be, hey, Will, go out and do what Burrow did.
Yeah.
It's going to be Callahan has coached Peyton Manning. He's coached Matt Stafford. He's coached Derek Carr. He's coached Joe Burrow. All those guys play differently, and the one through line with Callahan's coaching is let's lean into what makes you guys play well. So, man, if I had to put a name on which of those offenses I think this would be most like, I would probably think Detroit with Stafford is probably the more comparable comparison, to repeat myself. But I don't know. I think Will Levis is going to fit into this offense because I think the offense is going to be designed to take advantage of what Will Levis can do, which is attack the defense vertically, control the offense with the checkdowns where necessary, use your mobility when necessary, but really take advantage of the fact that this guy can make throws that very few others can.
We just talked about some of the new weapons that Levis has, skill position players, but also they have to be better. Offensive line has to be better. They go out and they draft in the top 10 J.C. Latham out of Alabama. What other moves were made, and what do you think about Latham and the offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be almost entirely a brand new offensive line. The big one, we can talk about Latham all we want, but I think the big one is Lloyd Cushenberry at center. The Titans made him the second highest paid center in the NFL for good reason. Some fans out there might remember him from LSU, but he played the last 4 years, maybe 5 years in Denver. And he's about as good of a pass-protecting center as you will find anywhere. He is incredibly savvy as a pass blocker, and that's where it's all going to start. So then you look at Latham at left tackle, who played right tackle at Alabama, but he's moving over to the left side here. I think that with him, I'm not super concerned about his play strength, about his ability to get the footwork right on the left side. I just think that we're going to have to see how his skill set translates, and so far through the first couple of days of training camp, I feel like it has. I have very few concerns right now about him being better than what the Titans showed last year, the last 2 years at left tackle. We'll just see if he can live up to being the number 7 pick. That's obviously tough to do. And then the right side of the offensive line, as I kind of alluded to earlier, is a complete mystery right now. Sadiq Charles at right guard, John Ojukwu at right tackle, not really big names that people would think of, but they are getting first-team reps right now, and then in the mix, you have Nicholas Petit-Frere when he comes back from injury, and Dylan Radins, and Daniel Brunskill, and Jalen Duncan, and a lot of names you can throw out there, but really only the left to center is set. J.C. Latham, Peter Skoronski, Lloyd Cushenberry. That's a massive improvement over last year, especially as Skoronski takes a step in year 2. But the offensive line, we often say, is only as good as its weakest link, and we still don't know who the weak link is yet.
Defensively, obviously you mentioned Jeffrey Simmons up front, one of the obviously outstanding. Harold Landry, the third up there. They add L'Jarius Sneed back in the secondary from Kansas City. What do you think of this defense?
That's the mystery to me. That is if this Titans defense is better, that's going to be the thing where I can say, oh, this might be a playoff team. This might be a team that can at least compete for the playoffs. But let's just run through the positions that are either new starters or unknowns. Two defensive line spots need to be replaced after Danico Autry and Kyle Pico aren't on the team anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Both inside linebacker spots need to be replaced. Both cornerback spots on the outside and one safety spot.
Jeez.
That is more than half of your starting defense that is being replaced by a first-ever time defensive coordinator. So you have Jeffrey Simmons. He's one of the best talents in the league. You have L'Jarius Sneed. I would argue he is just as good at playing cornerback as Jeffrey Simmons is at playing defensive tackle. But you got a lot of question marks, and you got a lot of, even the returning players are question marks in some capacities, because I wouldn't necessarily argue that Harold Landry is coming off of the best season of his career. I wouldn't argue that Arden Key is necessarily the top-tier talent you'd want as a guy who's got to play his own role and also somewhat replace what Danico Autry did last year. It's just an interesting situation where I'm not super confident in this team's pass rush. I do like the moves they've made in the secondary, but Chidobe Awuzie is already missing with a calf injury. After the last 2 years, he's been hampered by injury, and I don't think he's played a full season since 2018, 2019, something like that. So you've got a lot of question marks up and down this defense, and frankly, I am not yet confident in saying that the defense is going to be better this year than it was last year. But you look at the pieces, and like we were saying, Sneed's an incredible talent, and Awuzie's had some of the best years of his career recently, and Sweat and Simmons is a matchup handful, and if you can utilize Kenneth Murray correctly at linebacker, that's a first-round talent to figure out. And there's so much that, in theory, on paper, looks like it could be a great defense, but so much of defense is chemistry, and I have no idea how this chemistry is going to work out.
I realize camp is just underway, and I'm not sure what your accessibility was during the off season before camp to the coaches, but I'm wondering if you've got a feel yet for Callahan and the way he runs the show as opposed to Vrabel.
In what sense?
Just the way he kind of runs his practices, the way he deals with his players, the way he talks to the media as far as press conferences. Is there any kind of a different feel from the intensity of Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, there's a difference. I mean, I think that a lot of times when a coaching change is made, look for the place that the other coach was the most specific.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably going to find the new coach is the most opposite there. Like, I think that's just kind of a universal maxim of if you fire a coach who's a player's guy, you're going to bring in a guy who, and this is an example, this isn't saying what the Titans did, you're going to bring in a guy who's a team guy. Or if you fire a coach who's an X's and O's guy, you bring in a coach who's a toughness guy or whatever. So I think that the most extreme parts of Vrabel, as we know, was his intensity and his single-mindedness of leading the team his way, and I think Callahan is coming in and speaking the language of collaboration that the Titans were looking for, and that's certainly a difference. And I mean, I don't think your listeners care too much about the media nitty-gritty of, wow, Callahan came to the press conference yesterday and immediately announced an injury, but like that is fundamentally a difference to what you're asking. And I think that there is a general modernity to the changes of, you look around and you think, wow, this team's built around receivers and cornerbacks, whereas a couple of years ago they would have been built around running backs and defensive linemen. And there's that adjustment from a pure, they are going to play football differently perspective. But maybe I've said this on your show before, maybe I've just talked to you guys personally about it, but my opinion in professional sports tends to be, unless you have one of the 5 best or 5 worst coaches in the NFL, coaching's probably not going to be that big of a factor on game days. It's a factor in the off season and the weeks and stuff like that, but on game days, coaching is furniture sometimes. Like, the players are the people that have to go out and make things happen.
Yeah, I think that's true. Well, like you said, there's a lot of questions, a lot of changes that have happened since last season. It'll be interesting to see. We really appreciate it, Nick. We always do. You always bring it. He's the Titans beat writer for the Tennessean, and he is Nick Suss. You can follow him on Twitter at Nick Suss, and you'll hopefully get to talk to you again here sooner than later about what's going on and what's happening in the 24 season. Nick, as always, thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime y'all need me, I'm here. Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate you.
Folks, when it comes to guns, one place you need to know here in town, that's Classic Arms. With over 700 firearms in stock, whether you're looking for handguns, you're looking for rifle, shotgun, whatever it is, you're looking for self-defense, you're looking for hunting, they've got you taken care of. And they've got not only new guns, but they've got used guns as well, because not only do they sell, but they will buy guns, they will trade guns. So they've got everything you're looking for over at Classic Arms, including all the top names from Glock, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, all of those top names, they've got them for you. Again, talking about over 700 firearms in stock. They are the only gun importer in the Mid-South. They will do free gun inspections and free gun appraisals as well. Also do free bore sighting. You can shop online 24/7 at classicarmsofmemphis.com, or you can go visit UTJ and the entire gang of Classic Arms, 1740 Germantown Parkway. That's where you'll find them. It's right behind Corky's Barbecue there in Cordova. Classic Arms.
More from the NFL when we return for our final segment in hour 2. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home in Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
It's the season for fun, sun, and savings at the Volkswagen Sandy Summer Sales Event. Going on now at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, and I've got Jason, the main man Marshall, on the phone to give you the lowdown.
Randy, I've got the 2024 Taos SE, $299 a month, 36 miles per gallon on the highway. 2024 Atlas Peak Editions, $5,000 off or just 0.9% APR for 60 months. And the new 2024 Tiguan's $3,000 off or just 1.9% APR for 60 months. And the list of savings goes on and on at Gossett Volkswagen on Covenant Pike. And remember, no reasonable offer will be refused.
Summer fun has begun. Ask for Jason, the main man Marshall, at Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike, or online at GossettVWMemphis.com.
Where we're charging for it and charging less every day.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Five Ash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Get your weekend started right with some delicious chocolates and candies from Dinstall's. Been putting smiles on people's faces for over 122 years. Their Summer Sizzler special this week is their award-winning chocolate pecan fudge. I've never had it, but it sounds absolutely delicious. Also, the chocolate-covered blackberry still available through July. They have the chocolate-covered strawberries, chocolate-covered grapes, chocolate-covered pineapples, all the great delectables, and you can ship most of these candies anywhere in the country. Go see Dinstall's and the great folks at Dinstall's, 5 convenient locations. I saw the downtown location last night when I went to the Orpheum Theater. They're also in Collierville and Germantown, Pleasant View, and right by my house, which is my go-to, which is in Laurelwood. 5 locations for the great Dinstall's candies and chocolates over 122 years. All right, so the Titans, I was looking at their schedule. Pull this thing up here if I can. They open up at the Bears. So Caleb Williams will get his first shot in the NFL in a regular season game against the Titans. Titans then will play home to the Jets. And assuming Aaron Rodgers lasts longer than he did last year, they'll be going up against Rodgers. Then they host the Packers. Then they go to the Dolphins. Then they host the Colts. Then they go to the Bills, at the Lions. They host the Patriots, at the Chargers, host the Vikings. And then they got the divisional games with the Colts, with the Jags, with the Texans. They go to Washington, so they have a game against the Commanders. It's not an easy schedule. It's not the most difficult, but it's not an easy schedule. Even the games against teams that are not real good, and the Titans aren't great, we'll see how they turn out, are on the road for the most part, right? The Bears, I mentioned, is on the road. They're playing a good team in the Bills, and the Lions on the road. They do host the Patriots. You would think that would be a dub. And let's say they split their divisional games. They go 3-3. I think it's going to be extremely tough for them to win 10 games.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance in hell Titans win 10 games.
Well, I'm just saying,
I think the Titans are one of the probably going to be, they're more like a 6-win team than a 10-win team.
I'm just saying if the things work out with what we just talked about with Nick Suss.
At best looking at a 2-5 start.
Well, again, yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to be a great team by any stretch of imagination. I'm just assuming for a second, and it may not be realistic, that Levis takes the next step that he needs to in the transformation of a quarterback in this league to becoming a successful franchise quarterback. They go out there and they add Calvin Ridley. Now they got Tyler Boyd, still have Burks, and they have DeAndre Hopkins. They have a lot of weapons. Again, they don't have Henry. He made the point about Spears and touches and Pollard and touches, and that can even out for the loss of Derrick Henry. I don't think he even out the loss for Derrick Henry. That's a big loss. But Derrick Henry is towards the latter part of his career. Tony Pollard catching the ball in the backfield. His speed, Spears' speed. I didn't ask him. I forgot to ask him about Jabari Small and whether Small has a chance to make the team out of Briarcrest Christian. But then you have the changes that they made on the offensive line. They drafted Latham. They got their center. They can protect for Levis. I think they'll score points. That defense, though, is suspect. He mentioned all the new dudes coming in that have to replace guys that are no longer there. That's going to be their Achilles heel. But I'm just saying if it all works out, they could threaten at least in the AFC South. I still think it's the Colts and the Texans. We'll see what the Jags do. I mean, there's high expectations that Trevor Lawrence can get Jacksonville into the playoffs. But Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for the Titans. A lot of moves that were made. The new coach, the new coordinators. Callahan calling his own plays, but a new DC who's never been a DC before. We'll see what happens. Also, the former Titan quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, still a free agent. Are you surprised that he has not been signed?
No, not really. I mean, I think he'll have a chance if somebody gets hurt, something like that, to catch on somewhere, but no, I mean, I don't think people are knocking down the doors of Ryan Tannehill.
He ended up getting banged up. Is that why Levis got in there, or was it just a simple move that was made by Vrabel? Do you remember?
Well, he got hurt at first, if I remember correctly, and then once he was healthy, they
stayed with Levis.
They
right.
stayed with Levis.
Okay, Stephen Jones, of course, Jerry's son, and what is Stephen's the president?
I don't remember what his title is.
Okay, but
Jerry is all of the. Jerry is president and GM, all that stuff. He's,
Grand Poobah? Is he
player
Grand Poobah?
personnel or something like that.
Yeah, but Stephen Jones is the heir apparent. He's obviously very important in decision making. He was talking yesterday and said Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb both want to be the highest paid non-quarterback. You have the situation with Dak Prescott. You have Parsons and CeeDee Lamb, one a linebacker, one a wide receiver, both want to be the highest paid non-quarterback. That's why I question whether or not the Cowboys are going to be a legitimate competitor for the Super Bowl, because there may be implosion. And the problems that they face with these contracts. Now, if they can get it all ironed out, there's going to be a lot of happy people. But you can't make both of them the highest paid non-quarterback. How do you think they should handle that right there with Parsons and Lamb? Who do you believe should make...
Well, Parsons has 2 years left, so they don't... I mean, he probably won't get anything done this year. It'll be next year in all likelihood.
Is he belly aching about it already with 2 years left?
No, I mean, he's there. CeeDee Lamb, I think CeeDee Lamb will end up getting a deal, and it'll be right there with these other receivers that have gotten deals this offseason. Might be the biggest just because he's the latest one to sign it.
Right.
But it'll be on par with what Justin Jefferson and these guys are getting at the receiver position. And then when Parsons, if they do it now or if they do it next year, whatever they do it, I think he'll probably become the highest paid defensive player in the league.
But you don't think anything will happen with Dak?
I don't think anything will happen with Dak until after the season. No,
okay.
And again, there's many players who have gone to free agency and gone to other teams. Like it's just, it happens. It's not like craziness that I think a guy plays out his contract and goes and signs with another team as a free agent. It could very well happen. Now they might bring him back. They might not. And if to me, I would rather they don't. But that's not my decision to make.
Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084. He's the owner of the company. Or go online to newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing, different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company or out of pocket, whatever it takes to get that new roof or that roof repaired. They do residential and commercial roofing, so business owners, property managers, along with homeowners. If you have a leak or any other roofing problem, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You get a 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof. All their work, satisfaction guaranteed. And don't forget about the $100 referral fee for all new roofs. You know somebody who needs the new roof, you tell them about Pinnacle. Pinnacle ends up doing the work for that house. You get $100 for that referral. Pinnacle does carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, put up fencing, siding, rotten wood repair. Brandon's a certified shingle installer. You need shingles installed, obviously. He's the guy to call. But any work around the home, if you can't do it yourself, call Pinnacle. Quality work at a very reasonable price. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Locally owned and operated. Call Brandon at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com. We open up hour number 3 talking with Tiger star linebacker Chandler Martin. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Mid-South. To the tens of thousands of clients we've served, we are honored. So many of you call our team at Brian Elder Roofing your roofers. Our team is dedicated to serving you and keeping your family safe, dry, and mold-free. The recent hailstorms have caused massive damage, and many of these will go unnoticed for years, even though the golf ball-sized hail we just experienced in the Mid-South compromises even the best-built roof system. Whether we find damage or not, your photos are securely stored for future reference. Call Brian Elder Roofing today for a total evaluation of your entire roof system free. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. Call me at 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303. Or visit us online at brianelderroofing.com.
It's the Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Summer Sales Event, and you won't find a better bang for your buck. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike and get 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, $17,980 or $299 a month. 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $26,530 or $379 a month. 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, we Gossett, $26,530 or $379 a month. And get vacation ready in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, $29,900 or $399 a month. Plus peace of mind with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
500 military rebate, 500 loyalty, and 500 trade-in assist. Mirage, RHO 10843, MSRP 18480. Sport, RU1 11873, MSRP 28030. Outlander, RCO 63695, MSRP 314. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Everyone loves home improvement. South Haven Supply and Warehouse 51 makes it easy. A real hardware store run by 3 generations of a real hardware family where you can get it all. Whether it's repairs, remodeling, or new building, kitchens, bathrooms, tiles, tubs, vanities, sinks, mirrors, lighting, furniture, even door hardware. All the latest designs as well as timeless classics. And if outdoor fun is on your mind, they have the big green egg and accessories. South Haven Supply at Warehouse 51, 8560 Highway 51. Easy home improvement. Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253 Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 Traffic.
Good morning. Still dodging some pretty good rain showers up and down certain sections of I-40 there at the Shelby County, Fayette County line. So be careful in that area for a while as the showers move through that area. Traffic's still busy, but it's moving coming inbound on 385 Billmore Parkway headed towards 240. Weimer's Jewelry right here in Memphis specializes in bridal ring purchases. They've been around since 1984. Shop local this weekend. Save a lot of money at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:05 the time. Final hour for us this week here on Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 73 degrees. It will get up to 81 today. We had plenty of rain overnight into the morning hours. It will start to taper off later this afternoon. And then tonight, about a 70% chance of more rain, a few showers earlier in the evening, or early in the evening, 72 for a low. Then tomorrow and Sunday, you're looking at temperatures in the low to mid-80s. Temperature-wise, nice. Humidity, not nice. About 95% humidity, 70% chance of rain tomorrow. And then we'll see some of the sun on Sunday, but we will see the possibility of rain at about 51%. Just a moment, Chandler Martin will join us from the University of Memphis. Hour number 3, I was going to say round 3. Hour number 3 brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More, now located in Horn Lake, Mississippi. They moved from Hernando to Horn Lake, and they have their new warehouse open at 2356 Goodman Road. They also have locations in Cleveland, Mississippi, where they began about 8 years ago, and in Little Rock, Arkansas. They specialize in flooring and carpeting. Family-owned and operated local business. If it's variety you're looking for, they have it. Everything from the SPC and WPC vinyls, scratch-resistant, waterproof, the ceramic and porcelain tiles, to the hardwoods by Portercraft, the carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet, and so much more. They do residential and commercial. So homeowners, if you want a project and you want to do it yourself, you head to Jenkins. If you want Jenkins to do it for you, they'll come to you, give you a free estimate, and then if you go with Jenkins, they'll have that done in 2 weeks. All you contractors out there, you're going to save a lot of money along with homeowners because they sell it wholesale. They skip the middleman. It's going to save you lots of money. Financing available. Stop by or call them at 662-469-9350. Terrific family, great service. It's Jenkins Floors and More. American Conference Media Days has come and gone, and now it's all about opening up camp, and then the Tigers opening up the season as they are picked to win the American Conference in 2024. And we are very pleased to be joined by their star linebacker, Chandler Martin, who you can follow on Twitter at _Chandler Martin. He joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Hey, Chandler.
How you doing?
Doing fantastic. How was your trip to Dallas? How was Media Days?
It was really good. It was my first time being in Dallas, so just getting to see the stadium, or just getting to see the city. And we were right across the street from the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, so we got to see how big it actually was.
So you guys are picked by the media, for what it's worth, as the team to beat, the team that will win the American Conference. You are now the hunted as opposed to the hunter. Do you like that?
Honestly, it doesn't really matter. We still got to put in the work day in, day out. And just like you're saying, it puts a target on our back. People know we're good this year, so it's no hiding it. So we got to go in and work and know where everybody's coming to play us full speed.
Going back to before last year, the transfer for you when you're leaving East Tennessee State, why was Memphis the place for you?
Memphis just gave me the opportunity to continue to get better on and off the field. Memphis set me up with some great internship opportunities. And the city is just great with different areas like FedEx and all the other companies in the area. And just on the field, they gave me an opportunity to compete. There was no spot guaranteed to me, so I came in and worked and just had the opportunity to play. So I felt like it was a great opportunity for me.
And then you end up being the leading tackler on a 10-win team. So certainly you put in the work, everything else, and I think probably opened up a lot of eyes because coming in, people I think see the transfer from East Tennessee State, don't know what to expect. All of a sudden you turn in that type of year. So what was last year like for you to have that type of season then?
Oh, it was great for me from going from the first game, not feeling like I belonged, being a little nervous, to going to the Liberty Bowl, winning the MVP, feeling really relaxed, really just at peace, and just allowed me to play fast. So from the beginning to the end of the year, it was just a complete transition and just for me settling in, and it was great because from being a 2-star recruit out of high school, kind of proved to myself that I do belong, you know.
Chandler Martin joining us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest lines. He was one of the 2 Tigers, along with Seth Hennigan and Coach Ryan Silverfield, who appeared earlier this week at American Conference Media Days in Dallas. It's not, I'm sure, easy to make the transition from 1AA to 1A football to FBS football, but you made it look easy. I mean, how did you make that transition so quickly and so successfully?
I wouldn't say it was easy. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work,
easy, right?
For sure. It was a lot of work that got put into it. It was really me refining my habits, just my film study, how I'm eating, how I'm taking care of my body, how I'm sleeping at night. Just the little things that maybe like the 1AA level, I don't have to emphasize as much because I'll probably say the biggest difference for me is the size of the lineman. At FCS level, I'm going against 6 foot, 5'11" linemen. And now I'm seeing 6'6" tackles and 6'5" guys. But at the end of the day, it's still football and just playing the game since I was 5, you know. So got comfortable easily, you know.
Mm-hmm. You said a little bit ago that at I think you said game one, like you didn't feel like you belonged.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you before like you felt like, okay, no, I belong here, like this, I'm good.
Yeah, for sure. I would say the Navy game, going against that triple option, a few plays hitting a few plays early, and then I was like, all right, they're just players, like they're not nothing. That allow me to settle in and stop worrying and just kind of have fun. Like I'm kind of the fun guy on the field, dancing around, talking trash, and when I'm doing that, I know I'm in my element.
You guys had the stellar performance, both offensively and defensively, against Iowa State in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl game. You have a new coordinator. At that point, Coach Jordan Hankins was the interim DC and gets the permanent job. What are the differences between Matt Barnes, who coached you throughout the season, and then Coach Hankins, who coached you in that game and will coach you this upcoming season?
Yep. Coach Hankins, he recruited me initially. He was my linebacker coach. So going in, I had a great relationship with Coach Hankins. Coach Barnes did a great job throughout the season, and he got a promotion, and he got a good job. But Coach Hankins was just very personable for me. We kind of knew each other this year. I'll be having the communication on my helmet. So just knowing kind of what Coach Hankins wants as a defense allows me to be a coach on the field, per se. And allows me to just be even faster, be even more efficient with my communication, and just allow us to play faster as a unit. So.
How big of a difference do you think will it make to have the communication in the helmet?
Oh, I think it would be pretty cool. Aside from all the yelling, but I think it'd be pretty cool to kind of transition the college football game closer to the NFL and just allow me to be a true coach on the field. I pride myself on knowing all the positions on defense and knowing everybody's job is, and now I can truly maybe make checks on the field and get the call from the coach to the defense.
So what do you think about the additions to this defense? Obviously, you lost a few players, but the coaches brought in a number of different talented players. How good do you think this defense could be? Because the thought is that the team's going to score a lot of points. Can the defense keep the other team from scoring?
Yep. I think we have a great defense coming in, a lot of transfers coming in. Guys like Elijah Herring, Reggie Grimes on the D-line. It's a bunch of guys that's also here as well that's been here, that's been developing, like my guy Bryce Edmondson. Coffey's been here, Greg Rubin. There's a lot of guys on defense. I can keep going. Cormonte's been here, Whitlow's been here. And at the end of the day, I think it's about how we handle adversity as a unit. And I think with fall camp coming up, I think it's just putting ourselves in the heat, in adversity situations, just see how we respond. And it's my job as a leader, just make sure I keep the guys up. And I think if we respond to adversity well, because adversity will come, like we'll be down 14-0 to Boise State, and nobody blinked the eye. So that's the expectation this year, and just how we handle adversity, and I think we'll be okay.
So this time of year when camp is just around the corner, do you get excited for the opening of camp? What's it like as a veteran guy getting ready for camp?
Oh, it's definitely exciting. It's definitely excitement going into a new team, new season, just knowing the season's coming right behind camp. But it's also a different sense of focus, just knowing what the expectations are this year and what people are expecting from us and what we're expecting out of ourselves, because we have the talent. So it's definitely a sense of excitement and some focus.
You've only been here the one season. I've been covering Tigers football since 95, so just about 30 years. I've never seen, and there's been lean years, but there have been a lot of really, really good years. I've never seen not only the excitement, but the way you guys, and when I say you guys, the players, the coaches, head coach Ryan Silverfield, have embraced these expectations. I mean, there's the talk, obviously, of not only winning the conference and winning the championship game, but getting into the first ever 12-team playoff. You guys aren't shying away from that conversation. You're embracing it. I've never seen anything like that. Do you feel that you need to tackle that head on, that you don't mind that kind of conversation involving the Tigers?
Yeah, I think that's the only way to handle it, is to embrace it and just to hit it full head of steam, because we know we're the hunted, so that makes us work even more harder. It just allows us to lock in even more because we know people are coming after us. We know we're number one. We know we got Steph coming back. We don't expect anybody to give anything to us. So it just makes the work have to be harder, more intense, and more focused. So we're definitely embracing it. We're definitely ready for the challenge.
When you go into a season, do you set individual goals?
I personally don't set individual goals. I set habits personally. Like, my thing is make sure I'm a vocal leader. My other thing is making sure I'm running to the ball every play. And that's going to be a big thing for camp for me, running to the ball 100%. And I really let the other results take care of themselves. And also things like film habits, making sure I'm eating right. And I think if I do those habits, I think the process will happen itself.
So, and how much different is it to be able to be that vocal leader coming in with that year of experience under your belt?
I think it's a big difference. Coming from a new transfer, like the guys this past year, coming in as a new transfer, kind of learning the culture and learning the system, to now being one of the guys that people look up to and lean on. It's definitely a big difference. It's definitely in a role I'm embracing. Just at the end of the day, not trying to be anybody else, just being myself. Leading how I do, being a personal guy. And I think I've definitely embraced it. And as the spring and the summers went, I've definitely got more comfortable in that role.
Did you get a chance to talk to a lot of the other players that were representing their respective teams earlier this week in Dallas? And if you did, what was the conversation about?
Oh, I did. I talked to some guys. Like, I talked to the new guys at Army and Navy. And I definitely talked to some South Florida guys as well. It was pretty cordial conversation. It wasn't no trash talk going on. But it was pretty cordial, just kind of getting to know each other, introducing yourself. But it wasn't too bad, you know. Everybody was pretty cool for the most part.
You know, it's interesting that we had Phil Steele, and you probably heard of Phil Steele's Preview Magazine, and he has Memphis as the most talented team, his power rankings as the best team in the conference, yet doesn't pick you guys to win because of the daunting schedule that you have going on the road to Tulane, on the road to UTSA, on the road to South Florida. What are the challenges that are going to face you to try to knock off teams on the road, especially the better teams in the country? We know last year with a great 10-win season that you guys were down a number of times on the road at Charlotte, at UAB, at North Texas. I mean, just to name a few, and you were able to rally. How can you get yourselves into a position where you're not having to have that last-minute drive to win a football game and win these tough games on the road?
I think it starts with just coming out strong. Maybe in some games we came out strong in the first half, maybe with a North Texas, and kind of let off the gas a little bit in the second. So I think it's coming out strong in both halves and just making sure we're clicking on all points. And I think it goes back to the leadership. And a lot of those close games, when maybe we were down, maybe we were up, the team coming back, nobody's blinking an eye. Nobody's worried. We just worried about doing our job and just executing. And with going into the road with all these good teams, I think it's still the same thing. It's just a different area, different situation. It's still just executing, doing your job, and outrunning and out hitting the other team. So I think if we do that, we'll be okay.
The Charlotte game, everything that went into it, but you had the interception return for the touchdown. Is that the highlight for you from last year?
For sure, that was my first pick ever in my life. So throughout
really?
High school, middle school, first pick ever, and I had it for 6. So I'll never forget that one. I was trying to keep the game ball, but Charlotte wasn't trying to let me.
They took it back.
They were chasing me.
I guess, yeah, because you're on the defensive side. That's their ball. They won't let you keep that?
Yeah. Their ball boy was chasing me all the way to the sideline.
Wow, your first pick. Did you play linebacker in high school?
Yeah, I've been playing linebacker since I was 5. So every chance I've gotten, I've dropped them. So I'm glad I caught that one.
Wow, that was a huge play. I can tell you that.
Like when you get that and you see that opportunity to score a touchdown, like as a defensive player, like what's going through your mind at that moment?
So a few weeks before in South Florida, I picked up a fumble and got tripped up by the quarterback. And my only mindset was don't get caught. Pick your knees up, run, because my teammates are talking trash about me getting tripped up. So I was like, I'm not getting caught this time.
Are you guys going to do anything different as far as the celebration on the sideline after the big defensive play? I think it's been the The wrestling belt, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember from last year. Is that going to continue that tradition, or are you going to change some things up?
I'm sure the belt will continue, but us as a defense, we're going by dark side this year, so we have a little something special.
You're going by dark side?
Yeah, we're the dark side this year.
Oh, that's like a Star Wars thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just not expecting anybody to give us anything, going in as an underdog, just with a chip on our shoulder. So we should have something special for that.
I'll let you go with this. What is your favorite combination uniform that you guys wear?
Every uni combo. I definitely like the Iowa State all-white. I like with the striped helmets, just the all-white, the clean all-white. And also the gray unis are my favorites. I like the solid color unis.
Well, Chandler, it's been a pleasure having you on the program. We appreciate it. We look forward to watching you again in 2024. Big expectations for the Tigers, and hopefully you guys are able to reach all your goals. Really appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Chandler Martin, what a nice young man to make the impact that he did so quickly coming to the University of Memphis from East Tennessee State.
Well, yeah, I mean, so he's said the Navy game, which is the third game of the year, is when he finally felt like he belonged. And he still led the team in tackles, first team all conference. And it took him 3 games to even feel like he belonged at that level.
Yeah, it's interesting because Memphis has been able to get players in the portal from big name schools, smaller schools, obviously high school kids coming in, even maybe a D2 transfer every once in a while. And you never know who's going to make that impact. As you said, he comes from East Tennessee State, not belittling East Tennessee State. It's got a good football program. You just don't look and go, oh, here's the kid from East Tennessee State. He's not the biggest guy in the world. Oh, he's going to make this immediate impact. Well, he did. And he's become an instant leader for this team. All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, they have right now Silverados that are marked 12% off invoice. They got the new Silverados. They also have pre-owned Silverados as well. They also have an All-Star Special discount. So you're going to save even more money. And they have Costco member deals, which I had never heard of until now. So you can save yourself some more money if you're a member of Costco. You have the Costco card. One Sweet Buyer's Market currently with financing as low as 1.9%. No payments for 90 days on a bunch of the new All-Star Chevys, including the new Tahoe, and nothing beats a nice road trip in a beautiful new Tahoe. You get an extra $500 bonus if you're in healthcare, an educator, a college grad, if you are in the military or a first responder. No matter what pre-owned you're looking for, they have it. Jeeps and 4Runners, Navigators, Expeditions, all the trucks, and you can test drive them all. Bring any vehicle you want to sell, get a big check today. So don't miss All-Star Chevy's special summer sale. It's going on right now in Olive Branch, and you can check them out also online at allstarautogroup.com. When we come back, we're playing 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. Don't get shut out. Jump on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines right now at 901-360-8255. You're tuned into Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
They're taking care of business in Memphis, right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Summertime's finally here, and that means it's time to party. Lucky for you, Family Leisure is having a summertime to party sale. Now, what's all included in this party sale? Practically everything. 24-foot above ground pools for as little as $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and even robotic cleaners are 20% off. Come in and look at all of the in-stock patio furniture Family Leisure has. Plus, it's up to 50% off. Play gyms for the kids, that's $1,000 off. Patio umbrellas, take 20% off. You can get a 4-person hot tub for just under $3,000. We know you're really going to just use it for yourself. Family Leisure has discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while the supplies last, so you better get in quick. Plus, Family Leisure has special financing available. Just ask an associate for all the details. Summertime means party time, and Family Leisure is ready for any party. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
One of the key things that separates Genesis Diamonds from other jewelry stores is nobody's paid on commission. Vice President Nina Abraham says Genesis Diamond experts are never incentivized to get you to spend more or to buy something that's not in your budget.
Doesn't matter how much you spend. If you spend $500 or $50,000, the main focus is finding the perfect engagement ring or missing jewelry or sales tactics.
So when you walk into Genesis Diamonds, you can relax, take your time, get the education you deserve, and make a decision that's best for you, not the salesperson.
They can trust us. It's a huge, huge difference when you know that that person is just going to focus on what I want, what I want, not what they want to say.
No pressure, no risk, no pricing games, no nonsense. At Genesis, it's about making you happy.
It's for life. It's a customer for life. It's a relationship for life.
Genesis Diamonds, your luxury pre-owned Rolexes and honorary bookings extended.
I'm Ina Abraham, and my accent is always on value.
All 650 acquisition fee, $20,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE794066, MSRP 21820, Telluride RG543666, MSRP 39835, EV9 R602 29603, MSRP 61035. Includes all rebates and incentives and PF 695. Includes tax, title, license, registration, and fees. Must finance through Hyundai with approved credit valid through 7/31/24. Dealer stock only.
I got Jeff Allen on the line, Gossett Kia, South Mount Moriah. Hey, dude, you ready to rock our world?
You better believe it, Randy. How about 41 MPG highway in a 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $37.99 due at signing. 2024 Kia Telluride S, $379 per month, $39.99 due at signing. And 304 EPA estimated range for $389 a month in a 2024 Kia EV9 Lite. Or get 0% for 48 months, $49.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
Plus, every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
Or online, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 95 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. And once again, our guest and Eli Support.
Welcome back, everybody. Big shout out to Jenkins Floors and More, third hour sponsor of Sports 56 mornings. If you're looking for flooring and carpeting, head down to 6 East Commerce. Make that 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake, Mississippi. They moved their operations from Hernando to Horn Lake, so now the big warehouse open in Horn Lake. They also have stores in Cleveland, Mississippi, and in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Your boy Charles Barkley has issued a statement on the NBA rights stuff. Said, clearly the NBA has wanted to break up with us from the beginning. I'm not sure TNT ever had a chance. TNT matched the money, but the league knows Amazon and these tech companies are the only ones willing to pay for the rights when they double in the future. The NBA didn't want to piss them off. It's a sad day when owners and commissioners choose money over the fans. It just sucks. I want to thank everyone who has been at Turner for the last 24 years. They are the best people and the most talented, and they deserve better. I also want to thank the NBA and its fans, the best fans in sports. Cardinal fans probably offended by that. We're going to give you everything we have next season.
Well, I mean, he's a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. He knows that money makes the world go around, number one. Number two, his assumption is that Amazon is not going to do a good job. It's going to be an inferior product. We don't know that just yet. But I do believe that they are losing a very important show, one of the most entertaining shows out there, period. Sports or beyond sports. It is hard to see a breakup of that. He didn't say anything about retirement, did he, in that statement?
No.
I still think Chuck will end up having a role somewhere. And why wouldn't you try to bring Chuck in?
If he's right that the fees double in the future, holy Lord.
I know. I don't think that's crazy, what he's saying.
I get any more, I don't like. But this is what, $74 billion? So
$150 billion.
$150 billion for the next 11-year deal. God bless them if they can get it. And God bless these places if they can pay it.
But the players are benefiting from it, Chuck. They're making a lot of money. You make good money, but they're making way more than you. So what's wrong with that? It's unfortunate that you have to cater to the bigger companies, the ones that'll pay you more money, but that's just the way it is. Time now for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
It's the game show that has swept the nation. It's 10 in a row. We do it each and every Friday. If you'd like to participate, hit us up on the sports, make that the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. 10 in a row is brought to you each and every week by Napa Cafe and the Owner's Box. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, in the Lakeland Town Square. Just a fun place, friendly, exciting, and very comfortable. They got wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games. You want to watch the Olympics? Watch them at the Owner's Box. All over-the-wall taps for all your favorite beers, including non-alcoholic, local craft beers. And then in front of the wall, they got the full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. Add in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events. And you found all your sports in the one right place. It's the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. And they have lunch specials weekdays from 11 until 3. Monday through Friday, lunch is served, and they have all kinds of options for you, from salads to sliders to buffalo chicken wraps. I love club sandwiches. And they have a half club sandwich with super fries. That's the honey ham, the roasted turkey, the Swiss and American cheese, the applewood bacon, the lettuce, tomato, and mayo. I've made myself very, very hungry right there. Meatball sliders and cheeseburger sliders as well. It's the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square.
Napa Cafe is celebrating 26 years in business this year in 2024. And when you've been doing that long as a restaurant, you know you're doing some things right. And when it comes to great atmosphere and delicious food, that's what Napa Cafe is doing, whether it be one of their great steaks or seafood options off their fantastic menu, or their short ribs or their lamb tenderloin, all kinds of great options for you to choose from. Some great desserts as well, including their signature dessert cocktails that they have, like their lemon cheesecake martini. You can find it all at Napa Cafe at 5101 Sanderlin, open for dinner Wednesday through Saturday, opening at 5 o'clock each day. For reservations or to see the menu, you can go to napacafe.com. Their entire menu is available for pickup as well, curbside pickup for the entire menu. But boy, they've got such a great atmosphere in there with 5 dining rooms, including their private wine cellar, which is a great, great place for a special night out, a special celebration. Definitely check out that private wine cellar at Napa Cafe. Again, 5101 Sanderlin, and online at napacafe.com.
My wife and I have done the private wine cellar. It's a great, great place to have dinner and, be alone. All right. What are they playing for today?
We've got a $25 gift certificate to the Owner's Box. Got a $50 gift certificate to Buster's Butcher. Also, golf for 4 at Miramichi, and a couple of free Malco movie passes.
All right, that's your prize package. Here's the question. Top 10 active NFL running back rushing leaders. This is regular season only. top 10 active NFL running back rushing leaders. Now, current free agents don't count as being active. So, as of now, if they're not with a team, they are not active. There are some that will probably be signed here soon that may be on the list but are not active. Top 10 active NFL running back rushing leaders. 360-8255, 901-360-8255, Sissy's Log Cabin, listener lines. Never up, never in. If you don't give it a shot, you have no chance to win. And we have things to do. So jump on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines right now if you'd like a chance to win that great prize package with 10 in a row.
Good. 360-8255 is the phone number to play 10 in a row. $25 gift certificate to the owner's box. A $50 gift certificate to Buster's Butcher. You get some. I kind of want to use that one, as a matter of fact. Go get me some nice steaks over there at Buster's Butcher. Also golf for 4 at Miramichi, and a couple of Malco movie passes. So got you all covered with the prize package for indoor fun, outdoor fun. You got it. You name it. We got you taken care of.
So 1 week from yesterday, right? So 6 days from now is the Hall of Fame game.
That is correct.
And then preseason games will follow in earnest after that. So the NFL, with camps all open, is just about here. Fantasy football and participants in fantasy football leagues will be making their picks here pretty soon. A lot of interesting questions around the league. Could be some big names that are cut, and then other players right now that are holding out. We'll see what happens to them. Other players that haven't signed. We mentioned Ryan Tannehill hasn't signed, and others. We'll see if they get calls. Maybe it will be during the season as opposed to camp. And then college football, again, camp's opening up here as we are getting closer and closer to the start of the college football season as well. All right, 360-8255. Again, the question, top 10 active NFL running back rushing leaders. Current free agents that may be on the list don't count as being active.
All right. First up is Jack. Hey, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
Hey, guys.
Austin Eckler.
Yes.
360-8255. Not a good start.
Who are these? Who's
next?
The second caller is Carl.
Carl? Okay. Carl, what's up?
Hey, Carl.
How's it going?
Going well, thank you. Top 10 active NFL running back rushing leaders. Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
DeAndre Swift.
No.
Aaron Jones.
Yes.
Raheem Mostert.
Yes.
360-8255. Next is who? We need names, Zach. We got callers waiting.
Number 3 is Jim.
Jim.
Is that the one you're talking to right now?
Yes.
Okay, put him on hold. Jim, what's up?
Hey, Jim.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning. Top 10 active NFL running back rushing leaders. Austin Eckler.
No.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yes.
Jonathan Taylor.
No.
Derrick Henry.
Yes.
Miles Sanders.
No.
Joe Mixon.
Yes.
Nick Chubb.
Yes.
James Conner.
No.
360-8255. I thought he had it there. Conner's been around a long time now, playing for the Cardinals.
4 is Paul.
Paul, what's up?
Hey, Paul.
Hey.
Here we go. List 2. Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
DeAndre Swift.
Yes.
360-8255. Top 10 active NFL running back rushing leaders. And I say running back because there are a couple quarterbacks that are right there in the mix. Next up.
1 is Dan.
Dan is next. Hello, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, guys.
All right, let's see if Dan can be the man. Austin Eckler.
No.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yes.
Jonathan Taylor.
No.
Derrick Henry.
Yes.
Miles Sanders.
No.
Joe Mixon.
Yes.
Nick Chubb.
Yes.
James Conner.
No.
360-8255. We missed on Connor back to back. We're closing in on a winner, but not there yet. Who's next?
Waiting on that right now.
Number 3 is Bill.
Bill, all right. Hey, Bill, what's up?
Hi, Bill.
Hey, guys.
All right, here we go. Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
DeAndre Swift.
No.
Aaron Jones.
No.
360-8255. Come on. We're regressing here. We
And
need a winner.
Jim next.
Jim, all right. Hello, Jim.
Hello, Jim. Different Jim, right? Okay. Jim, you there?
Yes.
Okay. Austin Eckler.
No.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yes.
Jonathan Taylor.
No.
Derrick Henry.
Yes.
Miles Sanders.
No.
Joe Mixon.
Yes.
Nick Chubb.
Yes.
James Conner.
Yes.
Devin Singletary.
No.
Tony Pollard.
No.
There's your winner. Good job, Jim.
Congratulations,
All
Jim. You are a winner. Hold on, and Zach will let you know how you're going to get your prize.
And again, Jim's prize package was?
It's got a $25 gift certificate to the owner's box, $50 gift certificate to Buster's Butcher, a golfer for at Miramichi, and a couple of Malco movie passes.
We thank all our great sponsors. All right, we did Second Chance last week, so I know you're not going to go to it this week. I'll give you the list. List 2, Eli. Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
DeAndre Swift.
No.
Aaron Jones.
Yes.
Raheem Mostert.
No.
Alvin Kamara.
Yes.
Josh Jacobs.
No.
That's a yes. Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
Jamal Williams.
No.
Najee Harris.
No.
Gus Edwards.
No.
Yeah, you did a good job, but missed one. There you go. That's 10 in a row. It's brought to you each and every week by Napa Cafe and the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill. We will take one final timeout, come back with our final segment for the day, final segment for the week. If you want to get in a quick call or text on any of the topics we talked about or anything in the world of sports, this is your time. 360-8255. Sissy's Log Cabin lines are open. You're listening to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
There are many real estate companies out there, but then there's Banyan Tree Realtors on the Kyville Town Square. There are hands-on, family-owned boutique real estate companies whose agents have been offering exceptional attention to their clients for over 40 years. In an ever-changing world, Banyan Tree continues to maintain a small-town personal charm while providing a worldwide connection through its internet marketing presence. Personal service will never go out of style at Banyan Tree Realtors. Their agents are people you can trust, offering service you deserve. From residential homes to commercial properties, farmland, land lots, and historical houses, Banyan Tree has the expertise you can rely on. So if you're downsizing, upsizing, moving in, or moving on, give Banyan Tree Realtors a call today. Craig Smith and Mary Jean Smith and their agents are ready to serve you. Call today at 901-620-8920 or 901-359-2520.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Five Ash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos. And enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
It's the Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Summer Sales Event, and you will find a better bang for your buck. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike and get 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, $17,980 or $299 a month. 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $26,530 or $379 a month. 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, we Gossett, $26,530 or $379 a month. And get vacation ready in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, $29,900 or $399 a month. Plus peace of mind with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
500 military rebate, 500 loyalty, and 500 trade and assist. Mirage, RHO 10843, MSRP 18480. Sport, RU1 11873, MSRP 28030. Outlander, RCO 63695, MSRP 314. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 95 FM. This hour brought to you by James Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So I just saw this story. It's interesting. It deals with injuries at the Olympics. So this research analyzed recorded athletic injuries from the Olympic Games, summer and then winter, but starting with the Summer Games in Beijing in 2008. So 2008 until now, Summer and Winter Games. They compared the number of athletes in each sport to the number of reported injuries. The researchers determined the sports with the highest risk factors. The number one percentage of the athlete getting hurt is cycling, BMX, at 34.38%. So every Olympiad since 2008, I don't know how long BMX has been going on. I know it's like one of those X game type things, but it's been in the Olympics. All the athletes in cycling, 34% of them have gotten hurt. Number two, Taekwondo, just under 30%, 29.92, so rounded off to 30%. And then soccer at 27%. 27% of all the soccer players get hurt. But how many of them are faking injuries? That's what I want to know. Then you have cycling MTB. Do you guys know what that stands for? MTB, is that mountain? Is that mountain
biking, I would guess.
Yeah, so that's number 4 at 22%. Then you have boxing at 18%. You have handball at 18%. Handball. Then you have, what do you get, popped in the eye? You got eyewear, right? Eyeglasses, I guess, injured wrist, twisted ankle maybe. Then hockey. So handball over hockey. Weightlifting at 15%. And then you come in with water polo at 14%. Fun fact, 10% of the 14% of the injuries, drownings.
Where's rhythmic gymnastics?
Don't see it.
Didn't make the list.
Don't see it. No.
Very, very dangerous sport. Simone Biles. Simone Biles has submitted an original skill on the uneven bars ahead of the Olympics. It will be her 6th move named after her if she can successfully complete it. It'll be the first on the bars, which is not her strength, but she's still doing a move apparently that nobody else does, or will try to do a move that nobody else does. She is she has 2 vaults, 2 tumbling skills on floor exercise, and a dismount on the balance beam that she currently has named after her. There's only one other gymnast who's had more than 6 named after her, and that's Nellie Kim, retired Soviet 5-time Olympic gold medalist. She had 7, has 7 skills named after her.
I wonder how many Nadia Comaneci has had named after her. But Simone Biles is unbelievable. The
There's
series I watched,
3 other women in these Olympics that are trying skills that nobody's that to trying to get would be skills named after them as well.
Interesting.
So people are stepping up to try and take on Simone Biles, I guess.
I watched the 2-part series, the documentary on Simone on, I want to say Netflix. Terrific. Absolutely terrific. You learn more about this young lady and what she has dealt with mentally. Really, and of course, all those gymnasts should have issues that dealt with Larry Nassar, but she is just phenomenal. That's why gymnastics, I don't watch it during the year. They have a gymnastics meet once in a while on the Deuce or something. I'm not watching. But in the Olympics, to watch Team USA, to watch Simone Biles, to watch some of the other greats in the past, the Mary Lou Rettins, Carrie Struggs, Dominique Dawes, Gabby Douglases, Abby Wright, what's her name? Reichman. They're fantastic to watch, and they've gone through hell. So good for them with all the success they're having, and hopefully they're all having success in life outside of gymnastics.
Only one of her 37 Olympic and World Championship medals have come on bars.
It's not her strong suit, obviously, but she's still unbelievable.
It's crazy. 37 Olympic and World Championship medals. And she could have won, obviously, more, but she withdrew from the last Olympics.
Right.
I mean, goodness gracious. The Raider Corey, if you're listening, can you explain what the hell your Raiders are thinking? Why would you try and make fun of Patrick Mahomes when you got to go against him twice a year?
Come on, man. The Kermit the Frog thing is old.
What are you doing? What do you think? Mahomes probably going to throw for, in the 2 games combined, he might throw for 12 touchdowns against them this year. If you're the Raiders, probably the last person you need to be making fun of right now would be Patrick Mahomes. Just let it be. Just let him be. Be as nice to him as you possibly can be. But no, the Raiders got to have a Kermit the Frog doll dressed as Patrick Mahomes and posting videos with said doll so that everybody can see it. I don't even understand. Come on, people.
Do you know who the culprits are?
The Raiders.
No, but which specific Raiders?
I don't know who that was in the video that put him on in the one video. I don't know. I have no idea whose idea or whatever that it came from, but it's a dumb idea.
I'm sure Antonio Pierce said, did Pierce play with Lawrence Taylor, or was he after?
I have no idea for sure what Pierce was.
I'm just thinking a guy like Antonio Pierce, saying, oh, yeah, that's funny. That's cool. He'll take it in stride. He'll laugh about it. It's like...
Well, Pierce last year said they were going to put in the Mahomes rules for when they play the Chiefs.
Which are?
He didn't say what they would be, but he was talking something about putting in Mahomes rules.
We promised to lose to Mahomes? Is that the Mahomes rules?
Nobody if I'm anybody, team in the NFL, I'm not doing anything to try and make Patrick Mahomes any angry. And I'm certainly not if I'm in the division and know I got to face him twice every year. I don't need Patrick Mahomes wanting to do more against my team.
Right. Plus, again, it's pretty old. The joke's old. About Kermit, and he sounds like Kermit. Oh, it's funny. Old stuff.
We'll see what he does. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs were to happen to have a big lead against the Raiders in the first game against them, which is I think it's in October, late October they play. I wouldn't be surprised if just maybe there's an extra passing touchdown added on or two.
Just rub it in a little
I'm
bit.
just thinking about it. Now, maybe they won't, but I'm just thinking maybe, just maybe, that they will tack on an extra score or two against the Raiders.
Is this new Georgia wide receiver? Is it Rara or Rara Thomas?
Rara.
That's what I thought. He's been arrested on 2 counts of battery and 1 count of cruelty to children. I mean, what is going on? Player after player, normally it's some kind of vehicular thing, but now that story's out there about Georgia's Rara Thomas, a wide receiver, and his arrest. Well, that'll do it for us today. That'll do it for us this week here on Sports 56 Mornings. Want to thank John Varlas, Nick Suss, and Chandler Martin from the Memphis Tigers for joining us on the program today. We had a lot of great guests this week. Want to thank everybody for listening. All your texts, all your calls, we appreciate it. If you missed any of our interviews this week, you'd always go to the website, sportsmemphis.com. Check out the Sports 56 Mornings podcast. We break it down hourly. Check out all our shows, obviously, on the website. Plus, we got featured audio where you can just go right there and listen to some, not all, but some of those interviews. Waldo and Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next. For Eli Savoy and for Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you again Monday starting at 7 a.m.